16 tons. What do you get? Another day deep, older and deeper in debt. That's something,
Hey,
something,
Avrix.
something. I fall down a ledge. Hey, Avrix.
Can't remember the rest of the song.
Can't remember the rest of the song. But it probably sounded all right. Like,
So,
that's a thing.
you had mentioned that you wanted to start off this episode by telling a story about your childhood.
That explains nothing about who I am now. Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel, and Brad, feel free to weigh in your opinion on this. I am maybe a loud human being.
I wouldn't say
tend to
loud. I
be.
would say
I'm a
chatty.
rambler.
Yeah.
I can talk about anything for hours. Um, so we were talking about a person I knew who passed away recently. Um, I'm going to their funeral this week, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? When I was a small boy, I was not a talker, and I remembered like my friends' parents, whenever I was hanging out with them, used to have to check to make sure that I was actually with them if we were going places, because otherwise they had no idea if I was there or
This
not.
is starting to sound familiar.
Because it's you too.
Yeah.
Because
Have
I
you
was like
ever
just
had
deathly silent all the time.
you ever had a teacher
Had,
in school look at you and tell you that you need to put a fucking cowbell on so they know where you are in the library?
you know what? That one? No, actually. But like I
I'll tell that
remember
story after you're done yours because it's hilarious.
I remember one time I was I was at a friend's house and my mom was like had called and asked if they could drop me off, and I was like, hell yeah, that means I get to hang out with my friend for longer. Didn't have a lot of friends as a kid. Bit of an oddball. Still a bit of an oddball,
Feel that.
as it happens. But we were in the van on the way we were gonna get lunch, and then they were gonna drop me off at home.
This ain't
She
a
was
good
like, well, we
story
can't
unless
send
there's a van.
So I'm in the back of this Grand Caravan. I'm
Of
actually
course it
like
is.
in the seat diagonally back from the driver,
Yeah.
which is my buddy's mom.
Yeah.
And he was sat in the jump seat next to me. And she looks in the mirror and she goes, oh good, Chris is here. And I was like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah, I haven't moved.
And she was like, that's good, because you're really quiet. And I honestly could not remember if you were here in the vehicle with us right now. And I was like, I haven't gotten out yet. You still haven't dropped me off though.
Yep, I'm still here.
And she's like, yeah, I know. I just had to check for a moment. Hi, Steph. So like,
hey,
all of my childhood up until probably like the age of 13 is stories just like that happening across the galaxy.
Yep.
And I was thinking about that when I got it's one of the things I've been thinking about since I heard that one of my officers in Sea Cadets passed away.
Right.
Because like he was really good to talk to, and he wasn't a Sea Cadet officer when I started. It probably wasn't until 2 or 3 years in, so I would have been last half of my 5 years in the cadet program.
Right.
In the Sea Cadet program.
Yeah.
Where like he joined the Corps and I got to know him really well because we always got along really well. We could talk. He's very much like I am now, where like he can talk about a ton of things with no issues to like the depth of his knowledge on the subject. I mean, like I have lots of issues with my depth of knowledge on certain subjects, but
know a little bit of everything, but not a lot of anything.
I know. With that, buddy, I like basically shaved the beard off. It's
See, the problem with him is that if he lets a beard grow out, he starts to look a little Mennonite.
I look like Will does. Like
I don't look like a Mennonite. I just look like a fucking hillbilly that came out of the woods.
It's because the bottom half of your beard is cut off by the frame. You're saved by
All,
the bell.
all by design.
When I first started growing facial hair, it was like Brad and I have a friend who's like notorious for only he's the same age as us. He can only grow a chin strap. And it's really unfortunate that he's a ginger because it just looks skin tone.
Yeah, the problem with mine is that I actually fucked up my hair follicles along my line when it was first trying to grow in because football player. What do you constantly
Football
have
helmet.
around? Yeah, and so the chin strap and all the sweat and everything constantly just fucked up my hair pores and all that, and it was not great. It used to be worse. Like where everything is right now, there used to be a big patch that was like underneath. And so
He
that
said I nailed
finally
it, so I had to hit him
that
with the hard
finally
eyes.
that finally grew in. But no, the reason why I don't shave is because I'd rather look like a fucking hobo right now than look like I have the face of a blueberry. Because that's what happens.
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's actually for the longest time. That's why regardless of how bad it looked, I always had a beard. It was
Yeah.
because my face shape is
Like it's not as
it's
bad
not
now that I'm not
round,
like 400 pounds anymore. But the
but it's
problem
close.
is, fuck you. The problem is that it's still just like my facial structure is very round.
Yeah. It was yeah. I really enjoy having a beard. I don't know. Some people like a lot my family, they actually almost all of them prefer the mustache, which is such a weird thing. I honestly thought it was going to go the other way,
Such a
where they hated it
wild
even more,
contrast.
right? Because like my family likes my beard now. My great grandmother, before she passed, used to ask me if I was she bless her soul, 94 years old. We're in their kitchen. I just finished cleaning their house.
Uh huh.
And she's got like they had a couple magazine subscriptions.
Right.
And she got as part of one of her subscriptions, People magazine.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yep.
it was the year Hugh Jackman won Sexiest Man Alive. And he had
Yeah.
if you
Okay.
remember that cover,
Uh huh.
he had like the full beard.
Yeah.
And
Sure did.
I would have been 17 at the time, so like peak chin strap.
Yep.
And she was like, "Oh, are you trying to pull off the sexiest man alive look?" And I was like, "Your grandmother, what are you talking about?"
What the
And she
fuck?
pulls this magazine off of the countertop and she slides it across the table to me. She was like, you look just like him."
uh.
Like my great grandmother was the like stereotype of the grandmother. It's like, "Oh, it's such a handsome man."
Yeah, like sees you as the Giga Chad.
Yeah, she's like, my great grandson's out there. He's getting all the ladies,
Dude, I wish my
and
grandfather, my or
none
my
to
my
this date.
my grandmother is a fucking hard ass. Honestly, she's like Betty White. You come over and she looks at you. Got laid yet? But I mean, this is also coming from the same lady who, with a broken arm, hopped on her 300cc John Deere buck that's old as piss with her 22 rifle and chased a fucking black bear through the woods. While all we hear is going through the woods, like
Yeah,
this woman's gonna outlive us all.
yeah, she's here till the universe ends in
Yep.
its inevitable heat death. That's yeah, I always like everybody when I was in school, my friends were all like, "Oh yeah, my grandma knit me these mitts," or she knit me this scarf, or I got this she knit me a toque, a sweater, like all of these like really cool things. And I was like, my grandma drives a Porsche, and they'd be like oh, and like I remember I went to school with the kids of CEOs.
Yeah.
So like the CEO of Cameco, Royal
Right.
Bank of Canada,
Right.
um, the CEO of Potash Corp when it was still owned in Saskatchewan.
Hmm.
So like all of these people who have like like all these kids who had families were loaded. They were like, "Oh, like what do your parents do for work?" And I was like, "My dad's a truck driver. My mom works at a bank." Like they can put two and two together. They're like, "How the fuck does your grandma have a Porsche?" And I was like, "She's an RN."
Yeah.
Because like the first car I remember her having when I was a kid until I was like 5 was a 911 Turbo S from 1998.
Yeah.
Like 6-speed rear-wheel drive mid-engine sports car that she
Yeah.
drove year round. She traded it in for her Honda Prelude because she needed a car with a back seat when my brother was born. With like, I, I think I'd have to ask her, but I'm pretty sure at the time I remember them. I talked to her about it a while ago. I think she said it had like almost 200,000 kilometers on it when she sold, like when she traded it in.
Right.
And then her big
Which is
gripe with the
virtually
Prelude
nothing for
was
those
it.
cars.
That's a lot for a Porsche.
Or a
No,
I
I'm.
don't know.
Oh, you were
box-in
talking about the
Porsche.
Porsche. Okay, I thought you said I thought you meant the Prelude had almost
No,
200,000
the Prelude.
kilometers.
The Prelude came later. She drove that thing fucking forever. That thing had like 300,000 on it
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say
because
we're getting into the proper numbers for a
she
Honda.
she got the Prelude secondhand from a dealership, and
Right.
it was already 4 years old. She
Yeah.
drove it for like 6 months, and I would have been 10 or 11. And I remember I was at my grandparents' house, and my grandpa and I were in their garage because my grandpa had like the engine out and was putting a turbo kit on it because my grandma complained that the car wasn't peppy enough. Which, like, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously it's not peppy.
Yeah.
You can't go.
Yeah. You
You
traded
can't
a
go from like
fucking
what at that
Boxster for
time.
yeah.
Yeah, you've traded like the pinnacle of performance engineering in for a Honda,
Yeah.
like a sporty Honda, but still a Honda.
That's yeah. Still
And so
just a Honda.
they modified that Prelude, and she drove it, and she kept it as a second car because eventually she bought a CRV because my sister was born.
Right.
But she had that thing till, yeah, it would have hit about 300,000, and then she sold it for 5 grand. I remember she sold it right around when I got my license because I wanted to buy it.
Oh,
And she was
okay,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're not like we want more. We can't sell this thing to you because it needed a bunch of work,
Right.
but for what it was, she was like, it's still worth more than we can consciously charge you for it."
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, okay." I'm like sitting in BC looking at my weekly training bonus of $60. Like, I have $120. I'm buying me a Prelude. No
Yep.
concept of what a car is worth. Know that I bought mine for 1,000. Parents were willing to front me, like, because I had a car, and my parents were willing to front me money if I bought my own. They were like, "Yeah, we'll cover half of whatever you buy."
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, "I'm gonna buy Grandma's Prelude at the most bitchin' whip in my high school," because did not have an appreciation for a C-body Mopar at that point in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I wish I could say that was the same, but no, I had to front everything for my car, because of our financial situation, which is whatever. I ended up, getting the car I wanted out of it anyways, because as you know, my family likes to try and influence decisions. But
Yeah, you got like a good car at a point in time where you could buy them for cheap because your first car was a Crown Vic, right?
the '96, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I ended up going probably a bit too crazy with it, and bought it for $500. Ended up throwing 20 grand in it, bumper to bumper, rebuilding it for drag racing. But
Hold on, I gotta clip that. I gotta clip that real swift. Nobody's finally.
What?
Fine, I got it on tape.
What?
Maybe I went a little too far. The Crown Vic.
Glad you enjoyed that.
I thank you for that. I could die a happy man.
Why? What? I'm confused now.
Because I remember when we were going to school for mechanics,
Yeah.
all of us were like, "Why did you put so much money into a Crown Vic?" And you were like, "Cause it's bad to the bone, brother." And we were like, "No, it was a cop car."
Well,
And
yeah,
like,
but
to be
when
fair,
I was done
I've
with it,
come
it wasn't a
around
cop
on
car
my thought
anymore.
process. Yeah, I've come around on my thought process on the Crown Vic. Like, they are actually rad cars.
They're surprisingly comfortable, honestly. Like, for one thing, especially for a bigger guy, like, it's got everything you need. And for being as big as they are, because I mean, mine was still about 4,500 pounds, and the 4.6 liter V8 that was originally in it had almost 500,000 clicks before the seventh cylinder popped. but it has amazing room and gas mileage. Like I could go. I remember when I put the second engine in it before I started modding that engine for drag racing, because I put the second engine in it and then I took the engine back out and I rebuilt it and threw everything back into it. Um, when I put the second engine into it, we went out to a family wedding that was an hour outside of the city, and I remember throwing the cruise control on at 150, and this thing was just fucking laid back, relaxing with the fuel. Like, it sucked virtually nothing out of the gas tank. Like, it was just sipping, and I was like, Jesus, that's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, modern cars are great.
Yeah, you could not do that with my Impala.
I think both of Brad's vehicles are like that, tuned to the nuts, still get phenomenal mileage.
That is how I live life, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's quite nice. We get about 1,100 clicks to a tank out of the Cummins, and then like 650, 700 out of the Golf R.
yeah,
Yeah. Better than my Golf. Actually, to be fair, I haven't highway driven my Golf with the tune because like I haven't had a reason to take it out of the city.
right.
I am curious how that'll affect it because like it'll probably be much worse. But like in town, I have like, and I like bagging on it. The tank has lasted just as long as it normally does.
Right.
Like I have a buddy who just bought himself a Jetta, and he lives like 5 blocks from me, so I've been helping him fix it.
Right.
And like he's been complaining about the mileage in it, and I was like, it's the same 1.8T. It's like his is a Wolfsburg Jetta, so it's got literally the same 1.8 as the GTI has. Like it's the
Right.
same cylinder head and at the same base tune. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm only getting like 500 kilometers on a tank." And he drives half an hour down the highway to and from work every day. And he was just like, "I get like a week out of it." And I was like, "That seems wrong," because like my silver Golf, which both of you will remember,
Yeah.
I used to get 700 kilometers out of a tank driving it from Hepburn, which was 45 minutes away.
Right.
Both like so an hour and a half on the highway every day, and it would last me a week and a half before I had to fill it, even in winter. And then the current GTI, bought it when I lived in the city, but like I can round trip that thing to Prince Albert 3, 4, 5 times before I have to fill it. I get like it still gets really good fuel mileage and it doesn't suck, which is fun because then I take it to the track and it does get terrible fuel mileage. I did my mileage calculation once for the track.
Right.
You shouldn't do that.
No, you absolutely should not. It was nightmarish. That little 1.8 in just raw mileage and fuel put in, it clocks out at like 36 liters per 100 on track, which isn't bad. I've been told that's pretty good by the other people that have checked that same thing. Like they fill it at the gas station just at the edge of Gimli, drive it to the track it for a full day, drive it back and fill it again.
Right.
They're like, yeah, the only offset to the fuel mileage is the drive to and from the gas station, and I didn't even have that. I filled it while it was on the trailer.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the first day, I drove it the like 2 kilometers to the gas station. So I was like, it's all track.
Yeah.
And I drove it for 2 days on track. It's like 50 kilometers of distance, or it was 35 miles, or no, more than that. 75 miles. The tank was at a quarter left. And yeah, I think it was like 36 or 37 liters per 100. Like, nice. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Beautiful. Love it.
And then the next day I drove my truck to the gas station because I was like, I got half a day left, so I'm just gonna fill a jerry can. And Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad because like the jerry can to fill it was $40. So from half, I got almost a quarter tank out of it.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
that
mean,
that barely lasted me half a day. And I was like, ooh.
look at the last time you came drag racing with me in the Impala. We went there with half a tank, and in the 4 hours we were there, I left with an eighth of a tank because you're constantly idling and then hammering on the throttle for, that short period of time and then back to idling. That's not exactly healthy for the engine either.
When I brought the Golf, I used more fuel getting to and from SIR than I used on the track.
That's okay.
Like unironically.
That's the
I,
complete opposite for me. Those
it was
those 3.6s, they like to be steady driven, short spurts of energy, and then down to nothing. They do not like.
yeah, I was also shutting it off a lot because it had died in the tech lane.
Right, it did too. I forgot about that. That was hilarious. Me and Cam drove by you, and you were like, "Dude, it just stalled. I don't know if they're gonna pass me."
Yeah. Sitting in the tech lane, car shuts off. All the electronics go insane for like 30 seconds.
You got
Pull the key
so
out because I'm like,
nervous.
well, yeah, I was like, shit, car, like engine seized.
Haven't even done it.
'Cause that
Haven't
would-
even
that
done a
would be
race
my
yet.
luck. Like, I'm about to have to get Will to drive me back into the city so I can rent a U-Haul car hauler, come back out to the track, load my car on the trailer, and then haul my car home, and then just plant that fucking thing in the driveway and forget about it. Or not strap it onto the trailer and hope it falls off.
Right.
That
Oh
was
God.
sketch.
Yeah,
That always sucks.
that was hilarious watching you sweat though with that. We're so nervous every time you got up to the line, but we were like waiting for our turn. You were out there underneath your hood checking, making sure shit was still bolted down.
It wasn't even that like stuff was still bolted down. I was looking for the telltale signs of engine seizure. I was looking like, is there a ton of coolant in my oil?
Is there
Is my
cracks? Is there
coolant
leaks?
is my expansion tank like actively boiling? Like the exhaust isn't coming out pure white, so I know the head gasket's still good. Like everything is fine. What's going on? Hilariously, after that, it's all like until I had the tune, and even at the track, it ran better. Just had to get that out of its system. It was like we're gonna pretend to seize one time
Yeah.
at 475,000 kilometers. Then we're gonna run better than it's ever run before.
Yeah. All
Hmm.
it needed to do, all it needed to do was figure out its launch. Then it would have been good. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I should have put it on the slicks. I'm such an idiot because I didn't do it because I didn't want to snap an axle.
I think you just wanted to get roasted by the fucking announcer.
Yeah, he was having too much fun.
Oh, every time he saw that blue Volkswagen lineup, he was ragging and roasting.
I will state, at the very least, he did call it out. Like the first time he brought it up, he did call out what my car was correctly. He was like,
Yeah, that's
'cause
true.
he was doing his like, you can bring whatever you want to SIR for the fun run day.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, next up we've got a grocery getter Impala. That guy's out here all the time. And stage next to him, that looks like a blue Volkswagen Golf. Does that say time attack on the side? And I'm out the windshield like, yeah, it does. He goes, somebody brought their time attack car. That's probably not, like, I think he literally said, that's probably not going to go great. But you know what? He was dead right. I'm running on, like, the worst summer tires I've ever had on a vehicle.
Oh, that was fucking funny, though. Every time we launched.
I've never hard launched.
No.
Like, I've never, from a dead stop, hard launched that
Well,
car.
where else would you have to? Yeah, where else would you have to?
Yeah.
And yeah,
I can tell you for a fact that I've hard launched that car several times before you bought it from me.
Yeah, I guarantee it's been hard launched before. I just hadn't. So like the traction control was messing me up. And then I finally got that turned off, and then it didn't want to hook because I couldn't find the right RPM point.
Yeah.
I
will fully.
And then when it would take off, it just lay over. It just fall on its face right off the line. Like, because because the surface was so sticky
Yeah.
that the car was like, we don't know what to do. So
Yeah.
just pull all boost and advance.
Tire
'Cause I
turning
could
tough.
see it. I could see it in my gauge. It was like, we're not built for this. And I was like, I know, fucking go.
Do it anyway. I mean,
Do it anyways.
it's the same theory as like when you
I
came
feel
with
like
me
on
in my
slicks, traction
car.
control off, I could probably launch that sucker at like $3,000. And it
Oh,
might
yeah.
actually hold.
Well, yeah, because keep in mind, like, I'm launching the Impala on all seasons that have like 35% tread left at like 2200 RPM.
Yeah.
So
That was fun when we went out with your car and we spent the whole night just trying to dial in your launch to
yeah.
see how much faster we could get you to the 330
dude,
line.
we went so many times. I'm pretty sure
We were the only people that went for like every run that like was possible for
Yeah.
you. Every time we get off the end of the track, it was right onto the
right back to the
evacuation
lineup.
road back and straight back into the pits. We stopped once for food, and then over the intercom they were like, we're gonna do our last set of runs now. And we looked over at the staging lanes and there was like 2 cars there. We were like, back in the car, let's go.
Fucking let's do it.
We gotta get there. We gotta get there fast.
Well, yeah, the reason why it took so long though, like, then nobody was lined up for the final races, if you remember, was because that was when they had just finally finished cleaning up the track after that. After that poor guy with the Nova blew his whole fucking engine.
Could you imagine being that guy and having to tell your family that, like, yeah, not only did I blow up the engine in my like 67 Nova, but I blew it up drag racing a 2013 Impala.
Yeah.
That was catching me when the engine exploded. Like, it's not like he left us in the dust. Like, this was a prepped car.
Yeah.
Like, he had big tires under it. It sounded mean.
It did, yeah.
She was a bad unit. It was a real hot rod. And I could hear him up on a trans brake, and I was like, damn, like, he's gonna walk us.
Yeah.
Like, this is no competition. And he made it like right to the 600 line and the 660. And he started to slow, like, we started to catch him. We hit the 1,000-foot, and it was just like column of smoke up the bottom of the car, and then kaboom, and it shot the starter across our lane.
Oh fuck! When that starter shot across our windshield, I shit my pants. Honestly, I don't think
gone.
I don't even think I hit the brake when that happened. Honestly, I think I just froze and kept my foot pinned to the gas. Because I remember that car being there, and then, yeah, like you said, a pillar of smoke. Like, it looked like it was doing a burnout from the front end. And then, starter motor, across our front end, and next thing, the car was just gone. I just kept going. I was like, fuck that. I don't want any shrapnel. And
angry pillar of smoke.
And it took an hour and a half for them to clean it. That dude fucked up the left lane so hard, they had to retar the track. Oh, yeah. That was bad.
What a terrible day that must have been
for him.
Like just genuinely.
Did you hear what he said though when he brought it? Like, because we were lined up beside him in the staging lanes, and you know that guy with the headset that tells people when to go. He's a pretty fun guy, and so he talks to everybody. He was talking to that guy while we were standing out front talking to that old guy and his grandson. And he said he had just bought the car from a guy who brought it out previously. Right. And so it was already prepped from the previous owner. He just wanted to see what it could do. Fucking first launch, he busts it. Yeah. And when we finally left at the end of the night, that's when it was finally getting put on the trailer.
Yeah, because he had talked about bracket racing it, is what like the previous owner did.
Yeah.
So he wanted to see what his dial-in was or something like that. And I remember sitting there and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's not really easy here to find a car that has been built for any discipline. Like, actually, I won't say that. There's a ton of used junker drift cars in southern Saskatchewan, but that like are completely blown. The brakes have been pulled out of them.
Right.
Because they parted it out for another car. And they're like, yeah, Prep's drift car.
Honestly,
$33,000. I know what I have.
I'd say more than anything for like specific Prep cars
no transmotion.
is I would say in Saskatoon here, it's a lot of fucking like derby cars because of the Von Wyatt Raceway.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of guys that do sell their stock cars.
Yeah.
It's very rare to find one. And generally speaking, like they'll go cheap because they don't have a powertrain in them.
No, they're just cages.
Because like the motor's worth sometimes as much as the car, depending on who is racing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the motor's worth less than the dirt the car's rolling on. And I know a couple of those guys.
Yeah, but
It's
they
like,
still want top dollar for it.
yeah, they're still like, yeah, it's a $30,000 car. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not even a tube chassis.
Point in
And
case,
I'm sure
I actually
if I actually wanted to buy a tube chassis car with a motor in it, I'd probably get it for more than this, but it would, like, I could prove it was good on track.
know of one right now that is built off of nothing but scrap iron. The Monte Carlo that the Fairbrother family races at Von Wyatt, like Andy Fairbrother, he's the driver.
Yeah.
That is Parts Source's sponsored car. I was the one always getting pieces and parts for it when it broke, so I can tell you right now that $35,000 stock car is built off of nothing but fucking certified recycled parts.
Listen, I get a lot of flack from other time attack racers about my race program. It's about keeping the budget at an absolute minimum. It, like, you also grabbed me parts when my car broke. It's like, what? And so I was talking to my buddy who just bought his Jetta. He was like, what should I look at upgrading on this thing to make it more reliable? I was like, do the spark upgrade. And if you still got a factory air box, do the coils. If you still have a factory air box, put a can in it. See you later. Done. He was like, how do you know that's any good? And I was like, because my car still has a K&N air filter in it. It's the same one I pulled out of my silver car and put a factory paper one back in it, and then turned the boost controller way down so my brother didn't go kerboom and suck paper through the turbo.
The thing is, though, is
So,
that
like,
when you
it's
bought
a
parts,
7-year-old cleanable filter
when you bought parts from
that
me,
should have been
though,
replaced.
you weren't sponsored, and the parts you bought from me weren't performance parts. They were just like suspension and chassis parts,
stock componentry.
Exactly. He is putting certified brand recycled parts in a stock car, and he's a sponsored driver by our company, so we could be getting him the best of the best, but he's like, no, I want certified parts. Why? They have no warranty. Literally, certified refuses to warranty anything these days, and they break within like 100 kilometers because they're literally, like, when I say they're recycled, certified parts are made from 90% recycled material, and the other 10% is only from where they needed to use the new material to fix the broken chinks in the armor kind of thing.
Even if he was sponsored, though, like most sponsorship deals, because I did hilariously turn one down. I'd sent out a bunch of emails to different companies that sold parts for my car.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was a Canadian parts retailer that was kind of like Rock Auto, but they very German centric.
Oh,
and so
okay.
they'd gotten back to me, and they were willing to do a contract for my car. And that, like, the deal wasn't. It's not that I want it for free. Like, a couple things, like, if you can send me NGK spark plugs, because I go through a set of those every 2 events,
Right?
Or maybe some coil packs, filters, like small consumable items that I know I'm going to be replacing at least once during the season,
like very common maintenance items. Yeah.
And then, like, I'll buy the big stuff that I need. That's sure, that's a cost of doing business, but it was like their deal was still, I think I was paying cost plus 15, and they weren't going to cover freight. They covered freight normally on orders over $100, but it's like, okay, I need 3 pieces and it comes up to $75. They were like, yeah, we won't cover that for the freight. And I was like, so now it's
in
a
other
$150
words,
order from Quebec.
yeah,
They were like, yeah, no,
so
that's the
they
best deal. Like, I think the best that they came back with was they do cost plus 5 if I put in a minimum order.
but at that point,
And that
that's
minimum order was staggering. Like I could have bought enough consumable components to last up until now, actually like up through this next season with no issues.
yeah.
On what, because they were like, yeah, it has to be over $1,000. We'll do cost plus 5. And I
What
was
the
like,
fuck?
fuck that.
Jesus
A
Christ.
set of rotors for my car from factory, from them, like factory quality rotors, nothing special about them. And I remember I bought the first set from them that I bought online, and it was $350. So I was like, so that's
Oh,
2 sets of
dude.
rotors and 5 sets of pads.
And see, that's one of
And
those things where,
then I'm close.
yeah, that's one of those things where the part is very dependent on the like retailer that's trying to sell it, because that's stock quality. Whereas for your specific car, I could have gotten you a set of high-end BD Wagner rotors for $180 for all 4 corners. Like,
Yeah, I
it's just
bought
a matter of like depending on the part. It's not almost not worth it to have like a commercial discount anymore, or any type of sponsorship with one person, unless it's the case of like what we did with Fair Brothers Monte Carlo. All of the parts we just wrote off. He never paid for any of the parts because it was through the sponsorship for Canadian Tire Corporation. We wrote all the parts off out of our stock and gave him the parts. That's how it worked. He never paid a dime.
You think Canadian Tire can get turbos?
Depending on the vehicle, yes. I know we always kept a minimum of 3 turbos for Chevy Cruises in stock, and anything
Yeah,
else.
it's a Chevy Cruise
It's a
though.
Chevy Cruise.
Yeah,
That
that's
one
of course.
turbo is bad.
We could order them though. Yes, we have. For example, I know it's a hilarious name, so people are gonna laugh, but you know of Dickies Performance?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
have.
know who they are.
Yeah, we have access to them. We order from them. Same way we order from like Uniselect and stuff.
A stock turbo complete for my car. It's not expensive, but it is enough to like make you wince a little. I think the last one I looked at from Rock Auto was $1,000 for a
That
bone stock KO3S.
would
It's
sound
just a
about right.
BorgWarner
Yeah,
KO3S.
yeah, that would sound
Um,
about right.
and I remember because last year I was thinking maybe my turbo was starting to go, and I was like, okay, do I gamble on it's just the core and buy a new turbo core and put that in because that's what does all of the work because the turbo core comes with your impeller,
Hmm.
or is it something more that I'm just kind of schlepping off? The end result was that we came up it's probably the external gate. The diaphragm is weak in it, so it'll hold peak boost
Oh,
for a little while, and then the
right.
diaphragm starts to bleed back, and that's why
Yeah,
my boost numbers start to slowly taper,
right.
which is probably good now that the car is tuned, because with the car tuned, it holds peak boost for longer, because I think the boost solenoid is trying to command full boost way longer.
Right.
But like when it tapers off, it tapers back to like factory peak. So it in third gear, it'll pull out 27 pounds of boost. And then it'll taper back to like 18, which is where the car is supposed to be.
Right.
Like that's probably good for long-term reliability. I
I
don't know.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
want to haul that lunk of shit to $7,000 at 27 pounds of boost. Because that's definitely where something goes catastrophically wrong.
um, I
So
know.
like, you win some, you dim some, I think. I was talking to the
Yeah.
owner of the race team about it. He was just like, so should I inquire with Forge and see if we can get you a new external gate? Because they do make one. And I was
Right.
like, I don't think so, actually. I kind of want to leave it as it is for right now. And like, if it gets worse over the course of this season, then like, yeah, and we'll put it in the car for next year. But the motor's so old and like kind of bagged that I don't want to do anything like really extreme to it.
Yeah, because you don't know at this point when it's gonna pop.
The tune's already very aggressive.
Yeah.
Like I don't like. I remember talking to the owner of Prairie Auto House here in the city about it because he rode
Yeah.
races.
Yep.
He rode races in Integra.
Yeah, he does.
Like a 2000, or no, it's not an Integra. It's a RSX Acura with a Volkswagen VR6 in it.
Yep.
And I was talking to him about it, and he was just like, "You probably shouldn't." Like, because I told him about like the different tune levels that they offered. I was like, so level 1 is another 50 horse, but level 2 is is 100 over stock.
Yeah.
Or 75, because it would have taken, I guess, like it takes me at 250 at the wheel.
Right.
It was like, the second tier is probably good, but as someone that's been inside your engine, you might want to stick with with the stage 1. I was like, yeah, okay, you pulled the head off, so you saw that the cylinders still had perfect cross hatching, and it was like the rings were still seating properly. There's no oil residue on the cylinder walls.
Yeah.
Also, you gave me my car back misfiring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do level 2.
Yeah, I don't know if I
sound
believe
afraid.
you.
Jokes on you, old man. The car blew up 3 coil packs like the day I put the tuned ECM back in it. What do you know?
Yeah. You remember that twin turbo kit I was looking at for the Impala before I ended up,
Yeah.
Before you told me, hey, it's cheaper to just V8 swap it. I took the part number off of Car ID for that twin turbo kit that was like $2,800, and I cannot believe I did this. But I put the part number through Amazon, and they sell the exact same brand, kit, and parts and everything with the same part number for fucking $1,450.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know that I would buy anything from Car ID.
Well, no, okay.
I would sooner buy a turbo kit off of eBay and put that in my car than a kit from Car ID.
Why?
Even if the kit from Car ID is more complete. Because they're absolute scumbags.
What are you talking about?
I bought like a handful of things off of them,
right?
And had the worst luck. Shows up wrong, shows up broken, never shows up, and then you try to inquire with them, and they're just like, "Yeah, this is the way it is, man."
Okay, so you've had a series of bad luck with them then.
I tried to order stuff from them for my Buick because they used to have parts, some like weird oddball parts for that.
Right, yeah, because they deal with stock and aftermarket and all that shit, yeah.
I ordered an ignition coil for that car off for my 3800 Series 3 Buick V6.
Yeah.
An ignition coil. They charged me $150 for it, and I was like, that seems steep.
That is.
And then I got it, and the main casing for it was cracked. Like the main casing for the coil was broken.
Yeah.
Because so the coil pack for cylinders, I think that's 1 and 2 was broken. And I was like, okay, that sucks. So I took a picture, I sent it to him, and then it didn't line up at all. Like it didn't have the same mounting pattern. I was like, well, that's even weirder because like they only make one style of coil for this car. It's not like there's 2 or 3 and I could have maybe messed it up.
Right.
I ran the part number for a different car, like for a 3.4 or something, like an older Chevy Malibu.
Yeah,
and the coil pack is slightly different.
One of the old V6s.
And I was just like, oh, so this is totally wrong. And then I looked, I think it was Rock Auto, and I was like, I can buy this coil pack for $50, and the part numbers all match up. And if the Rock Auto part shows up wrong, or like, because I've had this happen before, parts show up wrong or broken, you send an inquiry in, they get back to you in a day.
Mm-hmm.
They ask for proof. So part numbers and pictures, which I gave Car ID.
Yeah.
And then they send you an RMA form. They immediately send you out the right part. If there's a difference in the price in your favor, you always get a discount. If the part you were supposed to get is actually more, they don't charge you extra for it, and they comp you the freight for sending the old part back and sending you the new part.
Right.
It's like infinitely better.
So
Um,
your experience with Car
but
ID
also
sounds like
Chinese turbo kits actually are usually pretty great.
I mean, I'm not gonna do
Get
it
you
anyways.
the,
I just thought it was
get you the
funny.
Nagasaki noisy boy.
Um,
Are
I
you
just
listening to that Wuhan war
Dang,
whistle
early bird.
spools?
I just
Yeah.
thought it was funny because we had talked about that before doing the V8 swap in the Impala. Like, what could we do with the V6 that was in there?
We
But
put
your experience
an
with
all
Car
aluminum
ID,
LS3 in your car, and then we put an eBay turbo kit in it,
fuck no, no.
and you run eights. It's the LS way. It's
Um,
just how it has to be.
the
I
experience,
even got a guy in the city who can tune that engine, and he will do it on the cheap for you. Like, he's actually a very good tuner. His
yeah,
name's Tony. I'm not going to say his full name, but his name is Tony,
right.
not the one we know,
No,
obviously.
yeah, no,
And he's who my boss and all of my boss's friends go through for their hot rod stuff.
yeah,
So, like, even if you just have a stock block or like a stock engine, he can reflash it with like he has all of the flash files for the different cars
yeah,
those engines came in. So
yeah,
it's like with an LS, if you get the truck motor, it's tuned to do more torque than power. And he was like the one in my boss's 57, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just flash a Camaro tune into it." And so he flashed the tune over, and he was like, on the dyno, I know that this specific engine tune did these numbers.
yeah,
Yours is the same, nothing is different. It's a bone stock
yeah,
motor. Like, it's a 6 liter with
right,
aluminum heads. Like,
right.
yeah, you're golden.
Um,
Oh, by the way, it'll also get 35 miles to the gallon. Good luck. You're welcome.
your experience with Car ID is similar to the experience I've had with Summit Racing, which is why I don't deal with them anymore.
Oh yeah.
And that's actually why I deal with Car ID now, is because Car ID was willing to pick up the pieces and fix the problem that Summit Racing had created for me. So I had ordered the two mufflers that I have on the Impala right now, the Super 10 series. They Summit Racing had them on for 150 a piece, and I tried to order them, so $300 plus shipping, all that shit, and waited 4 months. They never showed up. Call
You ever
what?
bought anything from Jegs?
Yeah, that's actually where I got my blackout ignition coils.
Because Jegs is always really good.
Yeah,
Usually their pricing is a little higher.
their
But
coils were worth
I
it
had to
though,
Google
honestly.
it because I didn't want to ask you that and then find out that like Summit owns Jegs High Performance or something weird like that. So I was like actively
Well,
Googling it.
it's
Jegs is still their own separate entity.
that's one of those things though where even if they own them though, their customer service and their parts and uh contracts are still separate, like with us part sourcing Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire, their parts and all that shit used to come from a separate a separate manufacturer from us, until they were like, oh well, we can just get you to send us parts, so we're just not going to do that anymore. But even though Canadian Tire owns Part
Mm-hmm.
Source, we still have our own separate contracts with like the battery people, and it's been a year and a half, so I'm forgetting the names and shit. But we are still our own separate entity, but on a corporate level, we're owned under the same banner. That's it. But we still run as our own like separate company with different
Yeah.
contracts and different business like parts suppliers and shit.
The parts industry is wild for that because like
Yeah.
if I look at like the car wash equipment industry
Yeah.
that I belong to, generally speaking, once a company is bought, they become a branch of the owner. And
Right.
you always get that year grace period for the changeover, and then it gets, in a lot of cases, significantly worse.
Yeah. It's really
Like
messed.
my competitor in the city was bought 2 years ago now. And I hesitate to even think about how many tens of thousands of dollars in business that we've gotten just because of that, and like the quality of the service that has absolutely fallen through the floor.
Yeah.
Hilariously, their front desk lady loves me and my boss because we're still around.
Right.
So she's like, a customer is here for this thing I don't want to deal with. And she, if they had cameras in that building, she would have lost her job a year and a half ago. Like, guaranteed. She just sends people to us. She'll answer the phone. They'll be like, do you sell cat pump parts? And she'll be like, no, but you can go to DA Lincoln, which is over where Panther Wash Equipment used to be. A corporate name that she's not supposed to tell people like what it was, because my competitor, Pumps and Pressure, bought Panther Wash Equipment. Like, they own the rights to that name and the original phone number for it. It's like they are Panther Wash Equipment.
Right.
And then the new owners bought that name as well as the conglomerate that was my competitor, like Pumps and Pressure. So it's like,
it sounds like she's
Easy
got the
Clean
same
Pressure Washers owns Panther now. But she's just like, yeah, we can't help you. Go see these guys. They definitely can.
And that sounds like she's got the same kind of moral of that situation as I did when I was working, because the same thing, parts industry, you don't mention your competitors' names, right? So for Part Source, you don't mention Napa, Sutherland, WSSL, you don't mention Uniselect because the customer's not supposed to know about it. All they know is we can order parts in, like all that stupid bullshit. I did very regularly because I looked at it and was like, you know what? I may not be able to get this customer this part or the price he needs because they might not have the money in their wallet, kind of thing. But I know if I send him to a place where he will get what he needs and for the price he can afford, then he knows in the future, hey, I know who to come talk to, because either way, he's not going to run me around the bush. He'll give me the truth and the facts, and I will get a good service. And I had so many return customers because of that. It was insane. Like I said, I've been gone for a year and a half, and I actually stopped by the other day to visit some of the people who worked under me when I was still managing there. They told me that they still get calls asking where the big bushy bearded guy went.
Yeah, hey, where the big guy went.
Yeah, literally. So it's one of those things that helps create the customer relation of like, hey, I didn't get it from this place where I originally called, but they told me where I could get it, and that instills a certain amount of trust, knowing that you didn't get screwed over.
Yeah. It's always, I think transparency wins more.
Yeah.
Like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, like it costs nothing to be honest. And if a company feels like they need to fire
absolutely
you about
hates
that,
it when I tell people that like we can't help them.
yeah,
Like, and a lot, I only ever do that when it's actually true. Like,
Right.
for us to help them, it's going to take way more time than like we'll ever make.
right.
Because it's like a small portable pressure washer you bought at Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
Can't help you. I could sell you a new one, but I'm not gonna be able to find you parts. I'm not gonna be able to help you.
Right.
So like, I've told guys, it's like, yo, you bought that from Princess Auto? Go warranty it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be able to fix it. It's just the way it is.
Right. Well, and even
And
if
then
you
every once
could,
in a
the
while,
price to
he's
fix
like-
it is going to be worth more than just
Yeah.
getting the warranty or buying a new one from Princess Auto.
But in the same breath, I take the same approach as him. So like, 75-year-old guy comes in as his co-op pressure washer that he bought in '83 finally broke a fitting. It's like, yeah, let's see if we can't get you fixed up, because it's
Right.
spring and you probably want to blast your car off before you go to the car wash.
Right. You're still
Like,
willing to help
Or you're
them.
trying to wash your siding.
Yeah. But I want to ask you a question though. In that certain type of
Mhm.
situation, you're doing what you can to help him because you think there's a chance that you might be able to help him, right? In the event that
Yeah.
you're not able to, what do you then do? Do you just tell him, "Oh, sorry, you're fucked," and leave him at the front door, or do you then look at him and say, "Hey,
No.
look, I wasn't able to, but I know these places that can."
I had a guy come in last week, 2 weeks ago now, might have been 2 weeks ago, looking for a shutoff switch for a trash pump.
Right.
It sounds, the name is misleading. A trash pump is just a high volume
Yeah.
centrifugal on a gas motor for
Yeah.
flowing like usually out of dugouts because
Right.
the water is super acidic.
Yeah.
So you use a trash pump for it. Came in looking for this this like the master off switch
Mm.
because it uses the same like Honda GX 300 series 4-stroke gas engine that every pressure washer in the world uses.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Do you have this switch?" And I was like, "No, they don't really ever break. And when they do, like I just send guys to Honda. Like if you drive down Northridge to Power Sports, they might actually have the thing you're looking for." He was like, "Yeah, we were there. We tried them. They didn't have it." And I was like, "Okay." He was like, "I have part numbers. I got a breakdown." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I grabbed some part numbers and I was like, "Yeah, grab a seat. Let's see what the digital box reveals to us." And him and his kid popped a squat in the showroom, and I hammered away on our like front showroom computer, and I was like, "All right, Amazon's got one." And I like turned the monitor over. I was like, "This is what it looks like. Probably wrong." And then like Amazon has like these other options. So like for the $20, worth a try. Like maybe you can modify it to make it work. I was
Yeah.
like, or Princess Auto is also showing that they have like 4 different versions of a main ignition switch for
Yeah.
a small motor, like a small engine.
Right.
I was like, let's run over there. You've got a picture somewhere on somebody's phone, or you could get somebody to grab you a picture. It's like they say it's $5 and it's in your hand by the time you leave the city today. They were just like, that guy will come back. I don't know why, because I was like, I can't get you parts. I could sell you a new one, because like the brand of trash pump that he had, I just like I don't have access to it. And when you punch it into Google, it does not appear. So it's like, I could sell you one from a brand I have, or I can send you somewhere else. Which would you prefer? He
Yeah.
was like, yeah, send me somewhere else. I was like, yeah, it's telling people what you can and can't do and trying to work within that. I find gets a guy a lot further.
It
And
works
like,
so much better. Yeah.
what usually bothers Kelly is when it's like some guy that's 6 hours away that wants a service call and he goes, "Can you help me?" And I go, "No." And they're like, "Why not?" I'm like, "Because I'm not driving 6 hours to a service call. There's 4 companies in the city you're in that do exactly what I do. Why are you calling me?"
Yeah.
Like, not only is that kind of fishy, but like, I'm not driving to Calgary to fix your car wash
Yeah.
because you're gonna hate me by the time I get there and back. If you're like, listen, I'll give you the travel quote up front, but just let me find a hotel room for tomorrow night. And if you're cool with that, I'll load $6,000 worth of parts into my van and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be cool with that when the cost of the part is probably $40.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, you're not, like, just go find it in Calgary. It's a big city. There's lots of guys that cater to this niche there.
Yeah.
You're not going to be out of luck.
Yeah, so why exactly are you calling a province over? It kind of begs the question, what have you done to the people that do this in your city?
Blown them off.
Yeah,
Not
that.
him.
Yeah.
It's almost always what it is.
Yeah.
I usually the first place I call when a guy hears the travel rate and doesn't flinch, because like there are successful car wash owners
Right.
that make lots of money. I'm not about to say that they're like all dirt poor. It's like farmers to a certain extent. There isn't really a poor farmer anymore.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the time they're cheap because it costs, like, you're not making huge money. You're making like you're making an annual salary and maybe some part-timers wages plus enough to cover all the bills. So they get really frugal about what they spend to operate.
Yeah.
So when they don't flinch, it's like, okay, I have your car wash name here. So I'll Google it and like, that's a really small car wash. There's no way you make enough to just comfortably afford that service call. And then we have a guy in Calgary that we usually will send out on calls that we get, or like we'll send to him.
Yeah.
And I'll call him and be like, "Yeah, hey, you ever heard this car wash?" And 99% of the time, the first words out of his mouth is, "Yeah, that motherfucker, he stiffed me on an invoice for like $300." It's like, okay, yeah. So he's calling me because there's distance. Like, you can show up to his building.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, so he knows he can screw me over because I'm way out of the way.
Yeah.
Jokes on those guys. That's what small claims court is for. But
Yeah.
taking a couple guys to small claims, like Rubber Boot, Saskatchewan. Dude runs a really good little car wash, makes decent money, stiffs me on like $1,200. Spend a whole day there, lose the whole day's worth of profit because
Yeah.
his words over the phone is, "Yeah, I'm absolutely not paying you for that." It's like, all right, cool. Had a lien put against the guy's car wash over $2,000 once. That was fun.
That's okay. That's just hilarious, honestly.
I threatened the Fun Motor Corporation with the same thing because they stiffed us over $6,000.
That
They
is
stiffed
not
us over
surprising.
$6,000 that we have email evidence they approved the work for.
Yep, that's
We
not
sent
surprising.
the pressure washer in their new Volkswagen dealership
Yep.
back to Ontario to the manufacturer. You'd remember this.
Yep.
This was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Sent it out. They tested it, fixed it, updated it, rebuilt it. I don't really care. But the end prognosis after them having it for a week on their shop floor was it worked perfect, no problems.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Drag it back, put it in. We charged them. We marked up the bill from the manufacturer 10%.
Yeah.
Because we were like, the bill's staggeringly high. Like, we just can't charge that much money on this.
Yes,
and
it
then
is.
The labor to pull
it is
out,
the dark underground world of pressure washers.
Yeah. The dark, yeah. You wouldn't believe the pressure washer black market. I'd be out here lowballing guys on pressure washer stuff all the time. So yeah, it was the repair bill from Transchem, the freight there and back, and 2 hours, an hour to pull it out and an hour to put it in. And we included crating in that because we had to crate it to ship it.
Right.
So the total bill out was $6,500. And I actually had the general manager of Saskatoon Volkswagen call me and go, "There's no way I'm paying this. It still doesn't work." And I, over the phone to him, said, "Listen, I'm like Evel Knievel. I get paid for the attempt. And we told you that sending it back wasn't guaranteed to fix it. You approved this. I have the email." He was like, "I'm not paying the bill." And I was like, "Then I'm taking you to small claims. And I'm going to put a lien on your building." Like, what are you going to do about it? He was like, "You can't do that." And I was like, "Yeah, I can."
Yeah, you physically can. That's the whole point of a disclaimer.
And then Kelly and I talked about it. We were like, "This isn't fucking worth it." Like the effort required because it does take quite a bit of time with small claims to have a lien put against anything.
Right.
We're just like, "Yeah, fuck it. We'll just let it ride." And you know what? To my great satisfaction, it's still there. It still doesn't work. They've gone through 7 different mechanical contractors trying to get it fixed. And mechanical contracting, I've learned, is where the gravy is. Those guys know how to do nothing and they make all the money. I don't even want to know what those bills are. And I told one kid, the one that still works, he still does work for the fun group. I said, "Whatever you do, make sure you charge them hard." He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, because I'm going to be honest with you. Every bill I know you're taking parts of the fun group, I can't like reduce your cost. I got to make my money back on that invoice that we lost forever. So I'm going to slowly make a little bit back on you and you're going to make a lot on them. And he was like, because he was the general service manager for Saskatoon. And he was like, "I had no problem with that. I'll charge them a ton." And I was like, "My boy."
Yep. There you go.
And they still pay his bills. He was telling me they paid his because he's a part owner in this company, Leading Edge Mechanical.
Right.
They paid him $150,000 to redo the air movement system in that Volkswagen dealership.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, "Yeah, did you make pretty good on that?" He goes, "Oh, we made staggering on that." Because we quoted the install was extra. And I was like, "Oh man. Okay, that's a little slimy."
Oh, that's dirty. But when it happens to dirty people, it's so glorious.
It was vindicating. I felt I felt better. I slept really good that night.
I do not blame you. You know, I think I can think of a time where you probably didn't sleep well, though. When you do as you say, not as you do with your gambling addiction.
Oh man. Okay, but that was probably the most fun I think I've ever had.
Probably, but the series of voice messages I got the following morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You wanna run me back through those ones, Chief?
So Saturday I streamed Firewatch,
Yep.
and Brad and I have been talking about the next time we have all the guys together, we should play poker because it could be really fun.
Right.
And just like buying $20, he was like, "Oh yeah, you got the gambling itch," and I was like, "Yep, I do." And he was like, "I've always wanted to try those online casinos," and I was like, "Let me tell you, good times. Let's do an after dark stream Saturday night, and we'll both throw $50 in, like not a lot, and I have a limit. Like I always, when I make those accounts, I set a daily limit. Like I can't put more than whatever I'm at in, so I can't get carried away,
Right.
which is good. I was like, we'll drink, we'll blast the hard style, and we'll just gamble till there's nothing left. And so threw $50 in each. The casino gave me 50 as like a promotional thing and a bunch of free spins.
Okay.
So I let it run my free spins while I waited for stream to start. Was up $130 on 50, and I was like, hell yeah, we're already making money. And so we chose, the game of choice was blackjack. I think, what was my, do you remember what my stat out was on, like, did it say hands played or was it just dollar amounts wagered? Your mic's off.
All right, whatever. That's
Oh,
fine.
there it is.
No, my Stream Deck has decided that apparently muting is fine. Unmuting doesn't work.
Classic.
Yeah, no, I don't think it had hands played, but it did tell
It
you
did
total
show
amount
total
wagered, and it was
hours.
over $600 in 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh, it was well over 600. So because we pointed it out on my stream at the 3-hour marker that I had been logged in. So I had it running in the background an hour and a half before I started stream. And then I started it and played half an hour and it hit the 2-hour marker. So it showed total dollar amount wagered, time in, like time on the site. Because like the idea was it was trying to like, hey, you've been here a long time.
Yeah.
Please don't lose all your, like, this is what you've wagered. This is what you're up or down over all of your wagers. So I think it was at 3 hours, my total wager had been, it was like $6,600. It was staggering. And I had only, in that time, I was up $100.
Right.
At the 3-hour mark, I was sitting on like, I think I was yo-yoing $250, like up and down.
Yeah.
Another half an hour goes by. I'm now yo-yoing around $300. Like, I'm splitting a pair of kings and pulling 2 aces, like double blackjack hand. We're going, like, it just, the train keeps a rolling and I'm on an uphill trajectory.
Right.
And I said to the chat, because Matt was watching, Brad and I's buddy Goat was watching,
Right.
Brad and Alexis were both watching, and I was like, when I hit 300 the next time, because I dropped back below it a little bit, I was like, I'm gonna up the bet. I'll up it to $10 hands, because I was playing 750 hands. So in blackjack, the way it works with the casino that we were using was, if you lose your bet, obviously. If you push the dealer hand, which means you match their score, you break even. So it's a free hand.
Yeah.
The game will occasionally give you an opportunity to insure your hand if you think you're going to lose. It's like, it's a half bet
So if you lose that hand or if you're close, I was never really sure on how the rules for that worked, but I won most of my insurance bets. It would double out the insurance, so you get a free hand even if you lost.
Okay.
And then on black and on 21, like winning hands, you doubled out. On 21, which is a perfect hand, you would get $2 for 21 plus double your bet.
Oh.
The only way you could increase that is when you split your hand, which doubles your bet out. But if you win both, you gain double the money back. So
Right.
I was absolutely winning more than I was losing for a while. And then I upped the bet and I lost 10 hands in a row.
Oh
And then I dropped the bet to 750. And I lost another, I lost 6 hands in a row. I won 2 split hands. I lost 4 more hands. And like, I just kept yo-yoing down. Like, it was like the trajectory had been this nice linear curve up with like minor bumps. And then I hit that 300 mark, up the bet, and it was like straight down. There was no saving it. And we hit a point where I was doing like $5 hands at $100, and I was like, I can claw this back, chat. Like, I got this. $5 with $100 in the balance. That's 20 hands. We can win this. We can bring it back. We can make a recovery drive here. No. It's no. My current balance on AAA Casino is 67 cents.
Yeah.
And I told my boss about that. He was like, "What?" Because he was talking about car stuff, and he's finally making some headway on the motor swap he's doing in his 55.
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting really close. Like, I'm really excited about that." I was like, "I also had an exciting Saturday." He goes, "What did you do on Saturday?" I went,
when you say that, it's always concerning.
I was like, I had almost a generational run on an online casino, and so he was like, "What are you talking about?" So I explained it to him. I was like, "There's digital casinos now. You can throw money in, you can bet. It plays just like a real casino." My buddy and I decided to do it. Ran him through the whole stories I've told to you guys, and I was like, and at my peak, 3.5 hours in, I was up at $320. When I stream ended, when I saw the 4-hour sign, because that's hilariously just about when I ran out of money. At 4 hours on this casino, I had wagered just shy of 10 grand, and I had lost $50. That's a win. You can't make luck like that up.
You're not wrong.
Too good.
That is pretty fucking good.
And you know what? There was hands that like I lost sheerly because so I'll have to go grab them because I thought I had them on my desk still, but they're in my room. I was wearing like these goofy sunglasses that I've dubbed the Steezmeisters because they're only good for looking cool. They're useless for everything else. You can't see shit out of them. I bought them because I thought they looked cool. Forgot I'm clinically blind. I tried to drive with them once. It didn't work. And so
you're smart.
When I started the stream, I had no hat, steezy ass sunglasses, EDM cranked into the stream feed, and I'm just vibing the whole time.
just go on.
The problem is you can't see the number for what your current score is, like what your hand numbers out at. And because I'm so blind, I couldn't read the cards either. So like a lot of my initial losses were because I didn't know what my hand was. Like hands I should have stayed and I would have won if I'd held.
Right.
Instead of hitting. Mm-hmm. Innumerably more than the hands I lost, because like everyone, like you get like the classic like blackjack shenanigans. Dealer draws 21 right off the hit.
Right.
And you're showing 6. It's like, okay, man.
Yeah.
All right. Game's rigged. But that's fine.
Bullshit.
But like the do as I say, not as I do bit was like the whole idea was like every time I'd hit a hand where I'd ask Matt in chat, or I'd ask Brad.
Right.
It's like do we hit on a 17? like, think you got a hit on a 17. And I was like, you're absolutely right. And I'd hit on a 17, and sometimes I'd win, which was the scary bit, but more often than not, I'd lose. And then right after I'd lose a hand, I'd be like, this was a reminder, chat, none of this is legal or financial advice. You absolutely should not do what I'm doing at home. Like, this is terrible financial planning. Do not gamble. And then I'd just keep going. And I'd grab 2 more beer, and I'd come back, and I'd hit it again. Lots of that. It was a hysterical time for me. I was having the time of my life. And I have considered whether or not I'd do it again. The consensus I hit at the end of that stream was, I think it would be really funny as like a benchmark thing to try and do. Try and hit affiliate and use the Twitch payouts purely to gamble. So like your first Twitch payout is close, right?
No, I've actually passed the threshold last week.
Okay, so yeah, so like you're at the Twitch payout. So it's like pull the payout out and let it sit in PayPal, and then put it into an online casino. And then just as like however long that takes, and that's when you do the gambling streams. So is it like 6 months or is it 3 years? Doesn't matter. When that payout number hits full, and have that be like a passing beacon. It's like current Twitch payout level at this gambling stream estimated 6 months. And just like make it a joke that occasionally scrolls across the screen. Like, the next After Dark stream will begin when the Twitch payout goal is met. Or like when the Twitch payout benchmark is met. It's just like a funny thing. It's
right.
Because like I'm not in a spot where I require it.
Right.
So like if I was to do that, it would purely just be for fun.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Because like, and so I was my funny consensus at the end of stream, and Brad actually was like, that's not a terrible idea, because it's money you've made, but it's not like, I guess the way I'd put it is like, it's not real,
right?
Because to pull it out is such an arduous process, plus you have like issues pulling it out. Like you were telling, like you got to put it in this, and then there's a fee because they don't recognize Canadian banks.
Yeah, their
blah, blah, blah. Like,
their transit number system is different, so the only way for Canadians to pull it out is to do it through PayPal. Well, so, I shouldn't say it's the only way, but it's the easiest way.
Yeah. So like,
but there was something
as a thing.
There was something you said though.
I think funny.
There was, yeah, no, that idea is definitely hilarious. There was something that you said though about that whole stream that did kind of strike a thought with me that we've had conversations about many times, and this is something we've never actually talked about on stream.
Music on Twitch.
Well, it's kind of, but it's more about the atmospheric composition. Like, when is a good time to listen to certain music? Oh,
dude.
I know the kind of music you enjoy. I'm just kind of surprised because, like, I know you are very much an atmospheric person. Like, when you're in the car, well, in this case, your truck, you like to listen to Kaleo, and stuff like that. And
I go through weird waves with music. I absolutely agree with that. The sentiment that like the music should fit the mood.
Right, like, when you're in your truck, you're always sending me
what I'm listening to.
Yeah, like when you're in your truck, you're always sending me snaps of the stuff you're listening to, like Kaleo, The Dead South, some of the other like
Lots of Sleep Token.
Lots of Sleep Token, like slow, meaningful but very powerful songs, That's kind of your theme when you're in the truck. So I'm surprised that you chose, for gambling, you chose EDM house music, because that's the kind of thing.
House music?
That's the kind of thing
I'm listening to house music right now. And ironically, it's been a kick. So,
which again surprises me, because you would seem like the kind of person that would listen to that kind of music when you're going full bore down the racetrack in your car.
No, hilariously, that's country.
I have so many fucking questions. We're about to spiral
So-
into another topic about Chris's music taste and why he's wrong.
So here's the thing. Generally speaking, the easiest way to read how Chris is doing is what music I'm listening to in the moment.
Which would make
So, like,
sense.
I don't know what flipped the switch, but I've been on a dynamite roll for like the last week. Just riding cloud nine. Everything, it like hilariously, not a lot's going my way. Just in a great mood. Things that normally would be inconveniences, I've been like, yeah, it sucks. Oh well, it'll be better tomorrow. Like,
It happens.
in infectiously good mood. And I've likened it to like when your car's running really good
Right.
and you know that it's about to break.
You start getting suspicious because it's been quiet for a while.
Yeah, like what's the deal here?
Yeah.
So when I'm in a good mood, I generally tend to listen to like happier or more upbeat music.
Mhm.
Not that I don't still enjoy listening to everything else, and I will still listen. Like, I'm a big rock and roll in the shower guy.
Right.
Which my roommates can attest to, because like
Fuck.
I don't
Okay.
often fire up my Bluetooth speaker for it, but when I do, it's loud.
Okay. All right.
Because I
Everybody
want to
knows.
sing along and not be judged.
Everybody knows when Chris is
Um,
showering. Got it.
Yeah, if you can hear the rock and roll from wherever you are, I am in the shower, probably. I'm extremely clean. But like agitated, angry, in a bad mood, it's hip hop and rap. Beating up on something, whether like something stupid happened, yelled at somebody, feel dumb about it,
Right.
sad boy shit. Drinking with the fellas, it's white girl music. But like
That's me on my motorcycle.
Yeah, so like generally speaking, and like at the track, more often than not, yes, it is EDM. I stopped doing that because I like to feel EDM, but I can just listen to country. And country is the fact that it's slower, it allows me to stop from adrenaline dumping so I can maintain focus.
Oh, so you're
open
okay.
Open lapping days with the subs in the trunk, dude. Those subs cranked right to the max. The speakers on the pin. And it's hard style straight down the main drag.
Okay,
People
so
make jokes about my car when I go past because they know I'm having the time of my life.
so
but then,
you
like,
are very easily
competition, I slow it down.
influenced. You're very easily influenced by your music then.
I'm empathetic to the energy with which music can create.
Yeah. Yeah, which
Is the way I've read it.
No, that's fair.
If I listen to depressing music a lot, like it got me in a real good mood for a while. Too long, some would say. Probably getting obnoxious to the people around me, but like I'm on a high here.
No, I get
And,
it. It's like when
if
an
I was,
artist
like,
brings out a
tomorrow
new
morning-
album and you're just listening to that album on repeat for a week and a half. I get it because
Trio Survival's new album.
Fuck
I
it. And
I
there
front
you
to
go.
back
Now
that for
you just
a month.
now you just brought it down again.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
But like the point being that like I can alter my own mood based on what music I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So like if I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, we're listening to the Get In Loser, We're Going Crying playlist, I'll probably be a miserable prick by 3 p.m.
right.
It could be the greatest day, and that will just be how it winds up.
See, I
So,
usually
like,
use music as the opposite. If I'm having
what
like a
I do.
really shitty day, then I will get in the car and I will put on the music that I know is going to bring me into a better mood. And I'm not going to
I
lie.
feed the beast.
I'm not
I feed the beast every time.
Do not, folks at home, don't ever feed the beast. That is. We have warning labels for a reason, children.
You guys, you've seen what it looks like when I just feed into it. The idea that the original
at some point the pathos behind it was if I feed into being depressed, I'll just burn out my depression and I'll go back to being
fucking
happy.
stupid. No,
And you know
no.
what? It used to work until I became numb to it,
Yeah,
and then it didn't work anymore, which is weird.
yeah.
Like,
That's
that was
because
a healthy coping mechanism.
Oh yeah, healthy.
Kinda
You know,
backing up.
evolution is never a thing in these cases. Hey, like it can never change.
No.
We've
can
got
never adapt.
we've gotten used to your sleep token bullshit.
Doesn't matter how many times you listen to Gethsemane, you can't cry anymore. It's like, no,
Fuck.
but I want to cry.
Oh no,
It's
that
like, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where like I've learned that I can feed it and it just make it worse. But I can also like, granted, it's not all of the time that I can like swing it the other way. You probably have the same experience. Like if you're really down in it, listening to happy-go-lucky tunes isn't going to help you.
That's yeah. If it's one of those rare moments for me, because like I know you know full well, like it is super rare. Like I may bitch about things, and like what we talked about last week about my like off stream just shit I've been going through.
The banter.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is still nowhere near what I have been in the past, and like I wouldn't say danger that I've been to others around me, but the anger and like fury that I have had in the past, you know. But it's not to say it hasn't approached very quickly. When it's those rare moments where I am just like brooding and I just can't seem to let it go, then yeah, my music definitely becomes not darker, but a lot harder. You know, I go from listening to a lot of the hard rock that we listen to like very, very death metal, like scream and liquid metal. And it's to the point where like I don't even fucking understand what they're talking about. I just am there in the moment, existing for the hard instruments that are making me feel like I'm going to flip a table.
Did I ever tell you about the time I went to a Mastodon concert?
Oh my god!
No,
no, you fucking psycho! You went to a Mastodon concert not knowing who they were. Okay, bye, Brad.
Do you remember the last? Yeah, I forgot to tell him we were doing this tonight, so we definitely caught him off guard, and I feel very bad about that.
I was gonna ask you, but then when you said we were good to go, I just did it.
I had meant to ask him when he joined the call with me because we were playing Warframe,
right?
And that game that you're going to start eventually,
yes,
before I die, hopefully.
I'm going to be starting it soon. We finished RV there yet last night, so it is done.
Excited.
It is done.
But it's also wicked late. Where he lives.
That's so, like, true. He did have
going to bed.
He did have a clock going in the background, and it looked like it was getting really close to the 2400 hour.
Yeah, they're 2 hours ahead of us.
Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't going crazy when I was
bastard.
seeing like 23:38. No. Okay.
Yeah, that's local time. Where was I going with that? What were we talking about? Mastodon concert.
Yeah, you started bouncing.
So, the last time, welcome to the Tangent Room. We talk about anything and everything.
Yeah.
I'm also just realizing that the Twitch feed, for whatever reason on my screen, doesn't show the episode. So that's hilarious.
What?
I refresh it. Oh, there it is. It's back.
Okay,
sorry.
thank Christ,
I looked over and I was like, it's gone.
Man's out here throwing tangents into everything. Hearts and minds.
Yeah. So the last time Mastodon came to Saskatoon, they came with two other, I guess you'd probably call them death metal bands.
Right, I vaguely remember this. I don't remember who they came with specifically, though.
So I didn't know who they were.
Right.
But I got an email from the venue because I get, like, I'm not a founder, but there's a thing that TCU gives out when you've been to a certain number of their events.
Yeah.
So you get emails with discounted tickets. That's how I bought like our Buck Cherry tickets.
Right.
Were purchased through that.
Yeah.
And so I got an email and it was like, do you want to go see Mastodon? for $25 a seat, lower
That's
bowl.
that's pretty good.
And so when I went and I looked, like it's pretty much sold out. Like they do that primarily because it's like we're just trying to sell the rest of the venue.
Uh-huh.
So they discount the tickets and they send it out to the people in like the whatever thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it up. Like, let's go to a mass. So I messaged a buddy who I knew was into that kind of music. I was like, you want to go see Mastodon tonight? On me. Like, you pay for dinner, I'll buy the tickets because I got the email right here.
That's a pretty good
And so
deal.
yeah, it was. And like, so we went out, we grabbed a veritable feast from the clown, and then we rolled up to the venue, parked, we went in, and so I'm sitting there. I have no idea what to expect.
God damn it.
I hated it. I hated every second of it. I was like, this is because, and like, so this ties into your thing about like the liquid and scream metal.
Right.
It's like, I can't listen to that genre anymore because I can't hear what they're saying.
Fair. I mean, to be
me,
honest,
the lyrics are like without words, it's just noise. Like, and I know I'm saying that while I'm listening to electronic dance music.
Well, no, hold on though.
With EDM, I fixate on the actual beats of the music,
right,
and like the bass line and how it switches. Like, I really like to like make a poor joke. I like bass droponomics. I like listening to them, and because you get the build up, and you're like songs that have what like they're called false drops.
Yeah.
Where like it builds and then the song switches up and then it builds again and then it switches up. Like those songs where like they do a really good false drop.
Yeah.
Where like you're ready for the bass line to kick and then the song changes and it's better than it was just 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Are some of my favorite because like EDM is very much a skill thing. Like you have to have the skill to be able to make that music.
You have to have a musical understanding. Yeah.
You have to have a profound musical understanding in order to craft that music.
Yeah.
That's like most people don't know that Skrillex was one of the lead sound designers for Michael Bay's Transformers movie.
Yes, they were. That is right. Yeah.
Yeah. They got Sonny out to a sound studio in LA worth like at that time in his career worth like half of what his home studio was worth. And they were like, make us robot noises. And he was like, and he pulls his like, because it's in the documentary about that movie. If you go back and watch it, he was like, I pulled my laptop out, I set it down. They were like, I was like, does anybody have a flash drive? And they were like, what? And he was like, I need to either export these sound files to the studio or you guys need to plug my laptop in and we can just use my laptop. So he's like, I brought my laptop with a bunch of sound bites because I was told that this was a Transformers thing that they were going to interview me for doing the sound design on. So I just brought it in case.
Yeah.
And he proceeded to make like all of those sound bites for that they, I think it was talked about, he made so many for the first movie that they kept using them for the second and third because they had more new sounds
that didn't get through.
The transformation sound.
Yeah.
He made that.
Yeah.
How do you make that? How much do you have to know about your craft? Like
to just pick sounds out.
You become a master in that trade.
Yeah.
It's like the musical term for a master is a maestro or a virtuoso.
Right.
So like you're telling me that a dude that looks like he probably has a girlfriend that makes him call her master is that dude is a virtuoso of electronic music and the whole genre. Like I believe it. I've listened to his music. Yeah. I still like
Skrillex. I still listen to Skrillex.
The best. It's the same thing with like Excision. Grizz is like that too. I have a buddy who used to make EDM in Calgary. By Vile.
I actually, oddly enough, I listened to a group that was only around long enough to make that kind of music for a TV show, and it was really cool because they set it in like an 80s style EDM, which is awesome,
Mhm.
and it's hilarious when you hear the show that they made this music for, but when you listen to it, it makes so much fucking sense. So this group is called BER, and they made the 80s style EDM music for the Teen Titans Go special episodes.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
really cool because all like the very last song they did, they actually made this EDM style 80s flatline song in conjunction with the creations given to them by Fallout Boy, CeeLo Green, and there was a third group, and I can't remember who it was. But the fact that
So funny.
the fact that this group that had never
That's-
existed before took all of these like sound like designs and song designs from these various groups and put it into an actually functioning song for the very last special of Teen Titans Go, because this was like the special episode that rounded up the whole storyline that Teen Titans Go had been setting up throughout the seasons, and it was really fucking good. I love it. I still listen to them on repeat. Those are some of the songs I listen to when I'm on the motorcycle. It's I love it. But yeah, that's what fucks people up so much is when they're like, "Oh, you listen to music from a kids show? Listen, asshat."
Have you listened to that music?
Yeah, exactly. They did
So not
something
until you try
that
it,
nobody had done before, so shut up. But that's
I
just
really
it. You
enjoy
never
when-
know where you're gonna find good music.
Yeah. Like video games when they do like license out artists for
Yeah.
tracks,
Yeah.
those artists are like, we're gonna give it everything because we've got to be the best track on the soundtrack.
So another good example. Jared
Or
Leto.
like they commission a new group
Yeah.
in order to create music. Like Warframe has Online.
Well, I
It's
haven't.
the boy band that they created for the Warframe 99 expansion, and that music absolutely slaps.
I haven't played the games yet, obviously, but the Alan Walker games. There
Yep.
is two musical groups in there that made songs which were actually the same group of people, just with two different band names, because they switched at some point. That made songs for those games that became such a like wide known hit that they have, I think it's close to 1 million listeners monthly on Spotify. I have all of their songs. They made an 11-minute song for one of the Alan Wake games that is just, it's mostly instrumental, but it's like it's not quite hard rock, but it's not slow either. It's not like country. It's almost like a creepy Halloween rock.
Yeah, it's Alan Wake music.
Right.
It's like the best way to describe
it fits
yeah.
the psychological aspect. But it's
Mhm.
so fucking amazing. And I know one of the names they used for their group that they created was the Old Gods, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And then they had a second name. But yeah, no, the music they did was really cool. Another person, for example, that a lot of people hate, but you can't deny does great music, Jared Leto. A lot of people hate him as a person, because I'll admit he's kind of a fucking scumbag as a person. And his acting's not exactly S tier by any means. But so many people forget that he was the singer, and still is the singer, for 30 Seconds from Mars. Or 30 Seconds to Mars, whatever it is.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, and I love listening to that band. They do really good songs. So, like, shitty person, but amazing singer. And that is something that a lot of people wouldn't be able to get over. And, you know, because, like, a lot of people don't like Willie Nelson or Snoop Dogg or, you know, Eminem because of the stuff they sing about. Or this, like, the people they are off music. Because like I know that was the big thing with Willie Nelson back in the day is, oh, he's a hippie, so, and he does drugs, so
Yeah.
we just automatically can't like his music. Well,
Yeah, he
no,
smokes a metric ton of pot.
yeah,
It's like, okay.
yeah,
And he writes some of the most soulful country music of the age. So
yeah. So does fucking, was it Meryl Streep? But you don't see people bashing on her about it, or was it Martha Stewart or something like that?
Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
Martha Stewart.
yeah. She's the only
because
person who's ever
famously-
outsmoked him.
Yeah, famously Snoop got her.
Yeah,
into smoking pot.
that's who it was. Yeah, and
People that harp on Snoop for who he is outside of his music is hilarious to me because he's like genuinely one of the most upstanding human beings of all time.
yeah,
Like he funds youth sporting programs across the states.
Have you seen the clip of when he was doing one of his rare live streams and he left it live and walked away from his computer for like 8 hours and he came back and all you see is him dip into screen from a ways away and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, forgot to hit the end stream button.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Eminem is also another funny one to me because like his music very directly critiques the people that don't like him.
Right.
And it's on the nose.
And
like,
he's one of those paradox
what he's
ones
doing.
because his music can be considered controversial in a lot of ways because of what he talks about and how he does it and stuff. Like, he was rapping about the whole shit with P. Diddy like years before anybody was even talking about it. But
he wound up getting sued over Stan.
Yeah.
And Mockingbird, I think, because those are both on.
Yeah, I want to say that's correct. Yeah. And then you
Like-
know, look at all the problems that Not Afraid caused, and
Mhm.
you know the questions that were raised about his song with Rihanna there. Fucking, you know, like
Not
about
Monster, right?
is it? Either way, you know which one I'm talking about, though. The one where he was talking
I know
about like
what you're talking about.
the abuse, and if you ever try to leave, I'm gonna take my fist and put it through the drywall and shit like that.
Love the Way You Lie.
Yeah, love the way you lie. There was so many questions raised about that song because it was like, okay, are you abusing someone and this is your way of admitting it? Is someone abusing you? Were you like, do you know someone in this situation? Like, his music is always so controversial, but from a human standpoint, off record, he is actually a really upstanding guy. Like, he does lots of things to help people.
Do you ever wonder if the flack that Eminem gets over his music is because people take it too literally because he's white?
I don't think it's because he's white, because you know,
Like,
like
I'm not.
he wasn't the
not
first white
to
rapper.
I'm not going to equate this as a race thing,
Right. No, I know what
But,
you mean
like,
though.
but like he's the biggest Caucasian rapper on the planet,
He is.
and it's a well-known track record that his music is inspired by, at least very early, was inspired by his real life.
Which it was. To be
So-
fair, it was.
So now he's got all the fame, he's got all the spotlight. He's the most notorious Caucasian rapper on the planet. And people listen to what he says and they take it seriously.
Yeah.
Instead of digesting it as like it's like what's art, what's not thing. It's like they're not looking at this as art now. They're reading the transcript of the song like it's an article,
Yeah.
and they're like artists talk all the time, like, you know, they'll do interviews. It's like, well, what's this song mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's
Yeah.
a song.
Right.
I had an idea to write it, and so I wrote it.
Okay.
And
Have a good sleep, Stephanie.
so like he wrote the song, and that was how it went. And like lots of artists do that, where they'll have like, you know what, maybe there is like Jelly Roll, I think most notoriously, it was his last album. It was like the song right before Somebody Save Me. They're like, what's, you know, it's been a hot topic for debate, like what's the meaning of the song? He goes, it doesn't have a meaning. I had an idea for this song and we wrote it. It doesn't mean, like, if it means something to you, that's great, but we didn't have an intended meaning for it.
Right. Yeah. No,
Also,
it's
the song with the meaning is right there. So why are we talking about this one?
yeah.
Because like that had been his press tour for that album, was everybody talking about that, like just Somebody Save Me, like such a
Yeah.
great song. It's done so much for so many people, like
I
means a lot to
think
the world.
I think the
Like, yeah, it
problem
does.
is that people think too far into it. So like in Eminem's case specifically, I don't think it's because he's white or the type of music. I think it's, and this correlates to a lot of different genres of music. People look too far into it. They're reading too far into
Mhm.
things. They're overthinking it. It's a song, you know. Like I'm not really. I think it's well cased at this point for like everybody's common knowledge of me that I'm not usually one that struggles with mental illnesses, not like heavily like a lot of people around me. But when I was in grade 10, I wrote a short poem because that was the assignment. Write a short poem about something that either fascinates you or something that you take interest in on a personal level, just like something in depth, something that meant something to you. And so I wrote a short story about not short story, sorry, a poem about the thought process of someone who was depressed. And my teacher actually made me stay after class that day because she thought that I was struggling with that. And I was like, no, it literally is just something that interests me because I know people in my life who struggle with this. I see it every day. This was the assignment, so I completed the assignment. That's all there is to it. She almost sent me to the fucking counselor to talk about this because she thought I just didn't want to tell her. I was like, no, I would just like to go home, please. I have fucking Assassin's Creed waiting on my PS3 at home. I want to go play my game.
Yeah.
No, I am not struggling with these feelings. I did what was requested of me. No more, no less. I think people just read too far into it a lot of times. And with music, a lot of people try to throw their heart and soul into it, and they think that also means they need to understand every intricacy of the artist when listening to it. I have my Spotify playlist actually has over 300 different artists on it, and do you know how much I know about each of those artists past like Volbeat and AC/DC and Kiss, like the most common three? Like, other than their names, fucking all. I don't even know most of the song names off by heart that are on my playlist. I just know when they come up, I like that song, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
no more,
That's
no
all it's gotta
less.
be.
Yeah.
I probably lean on music a little too much, a lot. So like, and I have a pretty good tendency to hyperfixate on artists, as has been noted.
But that's not
Um,
a bad thing, though. It just
I don't like, no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I think certain artists have a greater appeal to people, and
yeah.
like Sleep Token is one that I was like, I'm all for these guys. Like their music is great.
I
If
yeah.
they're a band that has lore.
Yeah. Well, ain't that the fucking truth?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
if there
genuine
was
real
ever a
lore.
group
There's
that had lore, it's them.
it's gonna be the four guys that like change their their actual personas alter as the albums progress.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where like it's very clear as you listen, if you listen to their music, if you front to back their discography, it's very obvious that they're trying to tell you a story
Yeah.
through their albums. Every
That's
album has
yeah.
a different facet of the story, but there is a narrative there, which I think is why I like them so much, because a good story is worth its weight in gold.
Honestly, I think everybody should enjoy a good story, no matter where it comes from. If they don't enjoy a good
Yeah,
story, then they're probably too wound up, or they just don't take enough time to smell the roses. Like that's
a
just
a
the hard
good
truth of it.
story, a good story can teach you what it takes years to obtain on your own. Like if you're willing to like ingest a story and actually mull on it
Yeah.
and read between the lines, I think a story can teach you a lot, which is where the value of stories lies. Because
Well,
before written history, we had oral history,
yeah,
and oral history was meant to preserve the lessons of those that came before us.
right.
It's like my favorite part of like First Nations culture is the oral storytelling
I always
and
thought that was
passing of
really cool.
history.
Yeah.
When I lived in and around Prince Albert, I had some cool chances to talk to like some of the elders for certain reserves in the area.
Yeah.
It was really cool to like listen to their stories and just hear what they had to say.
I actually,
Because like a story allows you to inform your worldview without the experience of
yeah,
it. You don't have a complete worldview. You have to develop that on your own, but it allows you like, this is better. I can use this when
yeah.
addressing other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, and that's kind of how I got into like, which is going to be such an oxymoron to say, but this is how I got into reading. Actually, when I was a kid, was I would go to the library downtown, because it had that Pooh corner, Winnie the Pooh corner, where people would come and tell stories, and this was back when chiefs and people from the One Arrow Reserve just outside the city would come in and have their not miniature powwows, but they called them sage sessions where you could come and listen to their
Yeah.
stories. And
Yeah.
so I would go to the library and I would sit there and read books because I mean, what else are you gonna do? Phones weren't exactly a big hot topic at the time for having screens in your face yet. And there was hundreds of books there. What are you gonna do? Just sit there and stare at them and read each title over and over and go, oh, that's it. That's all I need to know. No, so I would pick up random books and I would read, and then once 1:30 would come around every day, I would go into the Winnie the Pooh corner and I would sit there with like 20 other native kids and would just listen to the stories.
We used to be a society.
We used to be people.
We used to have so much, and we've lost so much. Like, I can't tell you how many life lessons I think Winnie the Pooh has imparted on me.
That's
Winnie the
that's a
Pooh
completely
was-
other subject. Yeah, fuck.
Winnie the like it's like, let's ignore the current state of children's media. If you were to look back at the shows that we had as I guess Biggles would call me, as unks, like a real boomer energy today. We had early Batman,
Yeah.
like the 90s animated Batman.
We had
Winnie the Pooh. Even like, you Toonami on Saturday mornings.
yeah,
Up with Dragon Ball.
yeah.
I'm racking my brain and I'm struggling on all fronts here. But there was all of these shows that were written and imparted with lessons to be taken away from
Honestly,
them.
the biggest
Whether
one,
it
the biggest
be-
one for me was
Whether it
Scooby
be
Doo.
on the nose and in your face, Scooby-Doo's a prime one.
Yeah.
Don't trust a billionaire.
You're not wrong. Never trust the rich man.
But like, all of these shows, not necessarily on the surface, would have some tidbit of wisdom that if you could find it, it was yours to keep. You can carry that with you for a while.
Shows used to have a meaning, whether it was big or small, and this kind of goes back to the conversation we had on I think it was episode 6 of the podcast, back when we were still calling ourselves the Yarn, because I talked about the issue I had with kids' TV today compared to what we had growing up. Like, as much as I hated the show, I never fully sat down and watched it. Even the Wild Adventures of Gumball had a fucking reason to the show. I hated that little blue dude, honestly. I hated it so much. But even that show had a reason for it.
Have you gone back and watched some of that now? Like,
kinda, yeah.
The Wild Adventures of Gumball is hilarious.
Yeah, I have watched it, and
it's a hysterical show that occasionally has that weird nugget of wisdom that you can pull out of it.
There was actually this kind of it didn't make me cry, but it really made me sad inside. There was there was a TikTok I watched a couple months ago when I was over at a friend's place with Hope, and they like it was a bunch of little kids. It was like a little kid's birthday party, and I was watching TikTok, and I came across this TikTok that said, "If you're under the age of 20, you won't know this song," and the intro theme song from Arthur started playing, and it broke me inside when a lot of them, even the parents of these children, looked at me and said, "Oh, what's that?" And I kind of looked at them all and I was like, I suddenly don't want to be here.
We also we had TV show characters with personalities that
well, point in case, Arthur, Ed, and Eddie,
Arthur,
Corduroy Bear, like
call me Ed, and Eddie. I'm out here stealing your stairs.
Literally, like
shit in Detroit.
I think a big one for personality was the Corduroy Bear.
Even the ones people look back on and hate, like everybody hates Caillou.
Everybody hates Caillou. A lot of people I knew hated Franklin.
Same deal.
Yeah,
because they're bratty kids.
Yeah,
and I was thinking about that a little bit the other day, where it's like there was lots of TV shows that were aimed towards younger children when we were kids, where the main characters were brats. Like TV show brats, but like bratty kids.
No, but I actually have a good one.
Thinking about that was like my takeaway watching those shows was always, I want to be like that kid. Like,
thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Caillou growing up because I wanted to. I was forced to watch Caillou because it was what my sister wanted to watch, and it was either Caillou or Dora, which actually is my other example. Dora. I'm just gonna say it right now. Fuck that bitch. She can go back over. She can go back over borderlines. But the thing, what I will fully admit though,
on my girl.
What I will fully admit though, is look at the important lessons that Dora taught us. Mm-hmm. She taught us, most importantly, when you're stuck, do not stop. Look for a way to fix it. Look for a way to keep going.
Find a solution.
Don't give up. And looking back at that now, that's such a pivotal lesson that I think should be aired for kids to see and understand. That isn't.
Dora taught me that 9 times out of 10, the answer is yelling in public places.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say 9 times out of 10, someone's trying to steal your shit.
Someone's trying to take you. Someone's trying to take your phone, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The solution is yelling in public places, and the actual solution to your problems is generally around the next corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have to be willing.
Yeah, I love when I saw someone stealing a jug of oil from the store. I look at them across the counter and go, "Swipe or no swiping?" Like, I love that shit.
Yelling in public places solves every problem.
Yeah, exactly. Always caught them off guard. But no, that's what I mean though. It's like I hated her. I hated the show, but it had an important lesson.
Yeah, exactly. Then there's the other well-known children's shows like Sesame Street. Sesame Street taught me that a iron wit is always going to be the funniest tool in your toolbox. Thank you, Ernie.
I actually used to watch a lot of the shows that help teach you these lessons with the help of animals. So, I used to watch the shit out of Zubumafu.
How do I look, Bert? With your eyes, Ernie.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, the only thing I learned from Bert and Ernie was that...
iron wit.
The only thing I learned from Bert and Ernie was how to be lazy and angry at the same time.
Yeah.
When they're laying in bed together and they're trying to go to sleep, and fucking Ernie is like, "Oh, you're mighty thirsty. Well, Ernie, go get a drink then." "Oh, but then I'd have to get up. Man, I'm too thirsty. So go get a drink." "I don't want to get up." "Bert, can you go get me water?" All I learned was how to sigh heavily like Bert and how to be lazy like Ernie. But
Bert and Ernie are probably my favorite characters from any TV show. They're just
this is so
them
good.
and the two old men. From
I
the
was gonna
Muppets.
say, growing up, Bert and Ernie were the
Um,
go-tos. Now that we're older,
Walter
it's the old
and-
men.
Walter and I can never remember the other one.
It wasn't Merv, was it?
No,
But
I mean, this is
yeah.
gonna be in my Google search history for the
Honestly,
8,000th time.
that's I think one of the funniest lines I've ever copped from them was when when I went to the
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, okay. I think one of the funniest lines I've ever copped from them was when I went to the car show that my company held back in 2023. We met up at the 8th Street Parts Source, and we had like a spot reserved for my motorcycle right beside the stock car, the Fairbrother Monte Carlo, and some other guys showed up with their nice cars like the Mercedes and Infinities and stuff like that. And we went up and down the street handing out pamphlets and discount cards to people who we were trying to bring in as customers. And I looked at my boss because I was standing there doing nothing but handing out hats and water bottles. I looked at him and I said, "Man, I feel ripped off and this show was free." He just looked at me and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, you never watched The Muppets, did you?" Oh, that was, yeah. That
My
was
boss
my
and
favorite
I
line.
frequently joke that we are the two old men from the Muppets. Like we're the two old guys in the balcony.
just ripping on people.
Somebody will be in the showroom and they'll say something dumb, and we'll both like reflexively just start cracking cynical jokes about it.
Yep.
And like all of our customers are pretty good, so they know that we're being good spirited about it. We're not actually trying to rip on them, and we can read the room, so we know when not to go too far. But like the amount of times somebody's come in, and it's just like with a new customer, it's always a gamble because you're like, is this guy
right?
Like, is he super progressive? Like, immediately offended?
Does he have a sense of humor?
Does he have a sense of humor?
Yeah.
So like, that's not to knock on people that are progressive, but like, I have had a like real like I don't even know that this guy was progressive. I think he was just really high strung.
Right.
And we like he showed up to look at something. It wasn't like the picture, and I cracked a joke, and I was like, Kelly and I would both made the same joke, like rapid fire, one after the other. And he caught my joke, and he looked at my boss and just started yelling at him, like reaming him out over this like innocent joke. Like I think the joke literally was like, well, as seen, it's cheaper than the pictures we sent you. Like, so hey, like you came all this way, but at least you're getting a discount. And this dude fucking just kept giving it and like kept giving it. And eventually, like I just looked at him, I was like, hey. And he stopped for a second. He's like, what do you think you're about to say? I was like, I think I'm about to tell you to get out before I call the cops.
Yeah.
If you want to come tear a strip off me, that's fine. You leave the old man alone.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything to deserve your ire. He made a mistake. You've never fucked up in your life.
Yeah.
And like my next comment was about to be like the 17 cheeseburgers you had for lunch today, obviously.
Yeah, you gotta bite your tongue on this one.
This dude barely fit through our door.
Oh my god.
He owns the Dodge dealership in Melfort.
Oh.
This big dude.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was. We knew he was coming for like a week. We just barely got a machine put together. It was like literally 20 minutes before he showed up that Kelly realized he had sent him the wrong picture.
Right.
Because like the picture with what he was coming to look at was here, and then pictures identify as like that number chain.
Uh-huh.
Right next to it was the machine we had on our floor.
Oh.
He was like, well, like I don't think it'll be that big a deal because this guy seemed pretty good over the phone. Like Kelly was immediately like, this won't be a problem. Like we'll just explain that Like, we built it like this because we offer the cat as an upgrade over the machine,
Right.
like over the price. And I gave him the price for this pressure washer with a cat pump on it instead.
Right.
And this dude,
Just came unglued.
no sense of humor.
Yeah.
I remember I called my buddy who lived in Melford at the time. I was like, "You ever deal with the guy that owns the Dodge dealership?" He goes, "Yeah, he also owns the Power Sports dealership." And so I bought my quad off of him. I was like, "You should probably not ever do business with this guy again." He was like, "Why?" And I was like I ran him through it. He goes, "That's actually fucked." Like,
yeah.
And I was like, "Could you imagine being one of his employees?
That's
Like,
yeah.
make an error, order 2 of something instead of 1 by accident, and like you're gambling on whether or not your boss is going to come absolutely unglued on you."
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
And so
I've worked for
he
a
left,
guy
and
like
now
that.
every once in a while, Kelly and I joke about it still to this day. That was 3 years ago. I
Yeah.
had worked there for
Makes a lasting impression.
not a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was probably like, I would have been like 9 or 10 months into my job at that point. Middle of summer, beautiful day.
Yeah.
It's like nice for Saskatchewan. So like 20 degrees, no wind, not a cloud in the sky. Everything's going great. We're both laughing it up. Can't wait to, this guy's gonna come in. Sounds pretty serious about buying it.
Yeah.
Perfect. This dude comes in, tears a strip off of both of us. He leaves. And like, I'm shaking mad. Like, Kelly looks over. I'm like white knuckled both fists. Like, I'm ready to just go swing on this dude. Kelly looks over at me, goes, "Well, thanks for having my back on that one. At least Roly Poly Oly's on his way back to fucking Millersville."
Yeah.
And immediately just break.
Yeah.
Like, crying, laughing about it. And we just ripped on the dude for the rest of the day. We had like all of our regular customers started coming in for parts and pieces, and we're telling our customers about this guy.
Yeah.
And our customers are like, my one customer, who at the time was an owner in Wash World, was like, "I saw that guy. He was just in my wash. He was asking me where I bought this stuff from. And when I told him I bought it from here, he just kind of rolled his eyes, stomped back into his vehicle, and left." I was like, "Well, did you at least wash his vehicle?" He goes, "Yeah, he was done." And he had asked if I was around because he was curious. And so I was talking to him. I tried to send him here, and he didn't seem to think that was an answer. And I was like, "Yeah, this is why." And we told the story. He goes, "Well, fuck, if I'd known that, I would have laid him out in my car wash."
Yeah. When you find
yeah,
when you find a niche community in your
You know what? I bet you
workplace
would
like
have.
you have, then people tend to stick together
It's-
because they don't like change. It's not that they don't like change,
Oh,
but
it's that they don't like change. You did
it's
right on
yeah.
that one.
It's not that they don't like change, but they don't like change. They like the way the things are. It's comfortable, and they're
Right.
happy. And when someone comes in and makes waves, people tend to band together to make the sand wall against waves.
I think the biggest commonality between my customers is that most of them, like all of my good customers, understand you don't bite the hand that feeds.
Right.
So like, our business is there to support their businesses. That is what we do. That's
Right.
our niche. We are in the industrial support industry. Everything I sell goes into a commercial building that then generates the owner revenue.
Right.
Whether it be in a large margin or a small margin, that's the bottom line, is that you need what I sell because it makes you money.
It's a
Makes
cohesive
you way
understanding.
more money than it makes me. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Like, is there ways around me? Absolutely. And
Yeah.
you know what? I have lots of customers that have chosen to take the long way around. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. Generally, you don't gotta worry about the ones that don't. Because when they call you up on a Saturday, you just kind of laugh and hang up.
Yeah. It's like,
There's
ha! I told you so. Click.
there's the largest self-serve wand wash in the city is one of those customers, because the original owner sold out and the new owner thinks he can do it on the cheap. He called me up 3 weeks ago, Saturday morning. He had to go into the wash to fix something. He needed a part. He was
Right.
like, "Can you meet me at the car wash?" I was like, "No, sorry, I'm busy all day today.
Yeah.
I got lots planned. I just don't have the time to come help you today."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, so I just have to live with a bay down?" And I was like, "Yeah, just like the other 4." He
Yeah.
went, "Well, what's that mean?" I went, "I don't know. I'm sure there's a meeting in there somewhere." He was like, "Yeah, well, I guess I'll have to try and figure out how to make this thing work." And I was like, "Hey, good luck."
Yeah.
And he came in on Monday, and he like immediately was like, "Yeah, is Kelly around?" I went, "No. He'll have a cell phone on him though if you want to call him." He goes, "Yeah, you know what you said is unacceptable, right?" And I went, "Okay. Like, sorry I hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
If you prefer, pump some pressures down the road."
Yeah. You
And
can.
he just looked at me. He goes, "You can't say that to a customer." I said, "I absolutely can't.
Yeah. I.
It's called firing a customer. You
Yeah.
either understand that the business I have is going to bring value to your business in fast access parts at a reasonable price, or we're going to continue down the spiral of everything I sell is overpriced, and you're going to keep buying it from Clean Right, which I know is what you're doing already, and that's going to be the limit of my service and support for you.
Yeah.
Is you come in and buy what you can't wait for, and everything else you order online.
Yeah.
Amazon will be the death of my industry because it is already like I buy stuff from Amazon for
Well,
my customers.
I mean, they
It's hard to compete with.
Amazon has
How
a
do you compete with 2-day
full
turnaround?
automotive department now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does price fit or fit matching.
Yeah.
Make sure that it's the right part for the right car.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind.
All of
It's
the major suppliers will sell direct through Amazon.
kind of hard to compete with that.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, you can't.
Part store doesn't have it, and I can have it in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'll gamble. I'll see if it's right.
Well, and the problem is that a lot of people, because of their budgets and mindsets these days, they're looking at it, and it's like a local shop can get it for you in 24 hours, but it's going to cost you $80 for the part. Or I can go to Amazon, wait 48 hours, and get the part for $25. Well, I don't need it that badly. My car's falling apart. I don't need it that badly. I'll just wait the extra 24 hours.
Yeah, like Rock Auto, I think for the parts industry has done that a lot too. Because like Rock Auto is, I think they do it right. Is
In rare cases, we actually
concerned.
ordered from Rock Auto as well.
Yeah, it's you can almost always get it faster than they predict. Because they have a really good freight estimation algorithm.
Yeah.
They know within an extremely reasonable margin what it's going to take to get what size of box where. But like their pricing is really good to the point where it's like it's way more competitive than a local store can be because now you got to pay rent and employees and you have to inventory all this stuff, like have it in stock. But like the downside to ordering stuff online is you have to have the volume, otherwise it is no longer economical. Which is why I started buying stuff from box stores again, because it's like, okay, I can order an axle for $50. It's going to cost me $30 to get it shipped. So, and then my taxes on top of that. So I'm $140 to get an axle. Or I can buy one from parts stores for $95.
See, this might be a bit of a downfall of mine, but
it's back in the car.
There is one simple, and to a lot of people it might not seem like a very important reason, but there is one simple reason why I try to avoid ordering off of Amazon at all costs, just in general. And that has been ever since multiple warehouses have been investigated for firing employees just for using the washroom. Like, that's, no, you can't take away a human's basic necessity like that. That's bullshit.
Yeah. I can understand, and I think in a few of those cases it came down to like the investigation found out that like the employees that were fired have like there's a lot of write-ups about it. There was also warehouses where like the supervisors were fired because they were wrongfully terminating employees, and that costs the corporation way more than it's worth.
Right. Yeah.
Like, so now we're turning around an employee. An employee is a sunk cost to a business. Like it costs money to hire, train, educate, and then to a degree with which you can have them do the job.
Yeah.
So like the baseline efficiency of a corporation is how cheap is it to buy an employee before you pay their first month's wages.
Yeah.
Right. So like at this point, Lincoln's too deep into me to get rid of me.
Right.
Because I've done tons of safety certifications. I've taken lots of courses. I've learned a lot. They've spent a lot of money for me to learn on jobs.
Yeah.
In jobs that have come back as failures.
And the skills they have taught you.
Yeah, like all of it.
They know that
I can rig a car wash better than the operator can maintain it.
Yeah.
Right? Like the MacGyver method. Like when you get to a point where you can MacGyver a solution that's just as efficient as the original, like now you're kind of hooped because that employee is far more valuable than the dollar sign allocated to them would indicate. But to a numbers guy, well, that employee costs us $35,000 to train to that standard.
Yeah.
So can we afford to spend another $35,000 to train another employee to get to that standard? And that's just the baseline cost of ownership.
Yeah.
The problem is when it's wrongful, because like now we have to pay out the lawsuit on the employee.
Yeah.
Because they sued us, because it's the United States of America where this is always like 90% of those come out of the States.
And sue someone for breathing wrong.
Yeah. Amazon gets sued because an employee was wrongfully terminated, which sparks an internal investigation. That manager skirts the first one. No, it wasn't wrongful. Or like, it wasn't uncalled for.
Right.
It happens 2-3 more times. The new employees already know there's a precedent, which in the U.S. court system is extremely valuable.
Yeah.
So they can do the same thing. It's like, okay, it takes a while, but eventually you figure out, okay, so this supervisor costs us $50,000 to replace.
Yeah.
But they've cost us $2 million. Can we get that revenue back if we hire a new supervisor?
Right.
Maybe there's somebody on the floor because the upgrade cost is less than the direct replacement cost.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, we got to sink another 15 grand into Juan because Juan's our best picker. And we know he can manage like a motherfucker.
That's just
because his rap sheet is way better than what his job description is. And so we'll pay $20,000 to hire a new picker. We'll upgrade Juan for 30, and we'll make the money back.
Yeah. Well, it's always one of those things where, like, in every company, if you're getting rid of the supervisor or manager because he's just a royal scumbag, there is always going to be someone who, whether they knew it or not, has been paying enough attention to be like, hey, I can do what they do. Like, I know for me, at PartSource, I was that person. I was only the retail manager. I just made sure the front store operations and logistics of shipping and receiving ran smoothly, which partly was made easier for the fact that Fred is the shipper receiver. So, we already were friends outside of work. We know how to work together. It was cohesive. Like, it fit, But
poor Fred, man. That guy. Like, he plays with my friend in that D&D game, obviously, as you did.
Yep.
That guy, he'll message me like Friday morning I know he's just gotten to work, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I'm not getting home till 7:00 tonight."
Yeah. It's always dependent on how many pallets he gets in a shipment, because the problem with Canadian Tire is when they they get our suppliers' shipments first as a big conglomerated order, and then they take what they need for their stock and they send us the rest. Essentially, PartSource acts as Canadian Tire's overstock. When we get our shipments, we don't know till the day they show up, okay, we're getting 5 skids. And then there'll be days where he'll open up the back of that truck in the morning and holy shit, there's 25 pallets. And he's supposed to fit that in a warehousing area that can fit maybe 8 pallets at most. And so he Yeah, I do feel bad for him in that sense. I've always hated the way Canadian Tire does that with the shipping and receiving. But that was, yeah, that was what I did, and Fred's a killer at the job, honestly. Best shipper receiver I got to work with while I was there. Um but I multiple times when the store manager was sick would open the store and I would count the safe in. I had all the safety like passcodes to everything. I even knew how to sign off and do payroll. I knew how to pay people's paychecks. Like if the roles had been reversed, because I actually found out that 3 months after I went on disability, so I was halfway through my short-term disability, my store manager actually got sent to another store. So the vacancy for store manager was open, which is what I had been finding after the whole time. And so I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is just my kind of luck that this would happen. But that
Can't work anymore. And
yeah.
the job you wanted is gone.
Yeah, the job I worked for over 10 years is finally open, and my body's just like, ha, joke's on you. So, that still always kind of irks me. And it's been a year now since that happened, but
That's about to be what happens to me. I'm getting like it's starting to get like a real near miss
yeah,
with some of the stuff that happens. I think like my boss's long game is for me to take his job.
right.
in the
He's
next few
made
years.
that very clear. Yeah,
So I only have to survive 2 more years, and then I don't have to deal with the harebrained antics of an old man.
which I mean, I feel like in
Today-
a lot of ways you would actually miss.
I would. I'm gonna keep him on the part time. Have to come in 3 days a week.
3 days
No
a week.
more than
What do I
20
got to
hours a
do,
week.
boss? Just sit there and talk.
Yeah, just hang out and answer the phone sometimes. But like, so yesterday, sorry, let's roll it back to yesterday. Had some hot rates come in. We bought a bunch of parts. We also sold them a stainless steel vacuum that we had. It's an outdoor purpose-built vacuum to be mounted in external conditions.
Was it a
They're
dirt
really
devil?
good. It's a no, it's a Magicist. It's
I
better.
know. It's better.
Tri-motor, 110 volt. This thing will rock your socks off while you're still wearing your boots. Okay,
I hate
it's
you.
a bad to the bone vacuum.
Yep.
Hot rates want it
Uh-huh.
because they're gonna put it in their shop. Hell
Right.
yeah, that'd be a killer shop vac. You could string 300 feet of vac hose on it, and it'll still suck like your girlfriend the week you met her. It's a high dollar unit. Like these things actually, like all jokes aside, they're very good.
Right.
And for the price point charged on them, you're not going to find any better.
The quality's pretty good.
So we cut out a deal because this thing was technically used
Right.
because it had been installed on a concrete pad on a site and never powered up.
Yeah.
And we bought it back. So we cut them a deal. We're like, we'll sell you this thing for $1,500 as it is. And they were like, well, we want push buttons. We're like, all right, cool. $1,500 with push buttons in it.
Yeah. Sounds good.
The faceplate on a coin operated car wash vacuum that's meant to be outside is stainless steel, just
Right.
like the rest of it. So
Right.
you got to drill a hole, you got to pilot hole it, you got to put a hole in it for your knockout, and then you have to use a knockout. Like you're never going to get to a 7/8 hole to mount a push button in
Right.
without an electrical knockout.
Yeah.
Our 1/2-inch knockout has been on its last legs for a while, and the bolt on it is too short to actually grab the knockout
Right.
through the plate. So I sent my employer to Bolt Supply House. I was like, I need a grade 10 bolt. It has to be grade 10 because I need the shear strength.
Right. Yeah.
That's 2 inches long. Not very big, but bigger than most, I've been told. So that I
Shut
can
up.
spin this knockout and I need to put 2 7/8 holes in this. So I'm going to use a 1/2-inch knockout for it. He went, yeah, that's a great idea. I went, I know. I had it.
God damn it.
So
Yeah.
he goes to Bolt Supply House and he comes back with a 4-inch long bolt, which is way too big. Like like genuinely,
Man,
only the
that is
bottom
not
inch
what
is
I asked
threaded.
for.
Only the bottom inch of this bolt is threaded.
Of course.
The knockout has to spin into the sleeve. The sleeve is only an inch tall. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Kel, what's the grand idea? He goes, oh, well, we're going to, we'll put like some washers in it.
Where
And,
was the
like,
misfunction of communication?
We'll put a socket in there, and that we'll space the sleeve off the bolt head far enough that it'll still spin. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you set that up. I've finished drilling the holes for the pilots so we can put the knockout in it, and then I will I guess I'll knock 2 holes out. Should be pretty easy. Get halfway through the first hole, or I get the first hole done eventually because it was a bit of a fuck around.
Right.
Because he put it together wrong.
Of course.
He forgot to put a washer on the bearing for the knockout because knockouts have a twin bearing on them.
Right.
So one half won't spin. Like it'll spin with the bolt head, and then the other side will stay fixed to the sleeve.
Yeah.
So he didn't put a washer there. So the bolt started to press the inside of the bearing out. Because that's how much force is on it. Because the plate isn't 12 gauge stainless steel, which is what those are rated for. It's like 14 gauge stainless steel. So just that little extra 16th of an inch in stainless is giving me the world of trouble. I pull it all back apart though. Eventually get the stainless of the sleeve, and I'm looking at it. This bolt, it stretched every thread, and I'm like, okay. Okay.
Dumb motherfucker.
I show Kelly, I was like, hey, what grade was this bolt? And I already know the answer. It's like a grade 6. Like
right.
Copper zinc plated bolt. Like
right.
It looks bronze. So like
well yeah, because you remember how to tell by counting the head of the bolt, right? Like the tick marks on the head of the bolt?
Yeah, they have the tick marks, and then like 8.8 and 10s are actually stamped 8.8.
Yeah, exactly.
So I picked it up and I'm like, okay, it's got that weird triangle on the bottom and 2 notches in it. This is grade 6.
Yeah, that's not great.
Like, so what kind of bolt did you get? He goes, I don't know. I got a bolt that was going to work. And I went, okay, so...
well...
And so I pulled it all apart and I put the bolt on his desk. So that's not going to fail when I go to do the next hole? Anyway, no, it'll be fine. Okay. If you're sure, he goes, just make sure you lube those threads. Because you got to lube the threads on a knockout. I don't think that's going to help this time. He goes, no, trust me, Chris. I've knocked out more holes than you'll ever see in your life.
That's okay. That's concerning, but...
yeah. I got halfway through the hole. Half the knockout is cutting.
Yep.
In at this point.
Yep.
It exploded.
Oh, no,
I have a 1/2-inch pry bar.
Yep.
Like this.
Yep.
And I'm holding it, and I crank the pry bar over, and all I hear is tick, 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 tick. Boom.
Yep.
It launched the knockout with half the bolt one way. And there was so much force, the pry bar hit my gut, and it shot the sleeve forward off the plate and into my face. And that fucker, gone. It hit me like right in the jaw.
Jesus.
And I was like, fuck. And like, so I'm sitting there yelling, I'm throwing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
Wicked
angry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he comes around and goes, oh, what, did you hurt yourself? I was like and I reamed him. I was so pissed. I'm listening to like Happy Go Lucky in my headphones.
And you're starting to feel anger.
Like, you dumb piece of shit. Like, fuck, I'm yelling at him. Like, so now you're going to go back to Bolt Supply House and you're going to get me the bolt I asked for the first time. And he goes, well, hold on. We still have another bolt here. Like, we have the original one from the knockout that famously I sheared in half. The bolt's already failed. It's compromised.
Yeah.
It's a known failure point. It's only good for sub 12 gauge stainless.
Yeah.
If it's thinner than 12 gauge, we're golden.
Well,
if it's thicker than 12 gauge, it's going to blow.
Either way, if it's a sheared bolt, why the fuck would you want to reuse it?
Because we didn't have anything else and Kelly was being cheap.
I
literally
I would have kicked
today,
his ass
after
out the front door.
there's a conclusion to this. So he jerry rigs up this other bolt with a knockout in it, gets it all put together. So this time the bolt head is aimed at the wall and the knockout's aimed out towards me. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to pry bar it. So I lube the shit out of the threads. And I spin it till I can't with the crescent. And I'm like, okay, this thing's tight as hell.
Right.
Pry bar time. And I'm like, I'm holding the end of the pry bar and I'm pushing it up with my palm.
Right, staying the fuck out of the way.
I took my ring off.
Oh yeah, good.
That's how you good. Concerned.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not gonna lose my middle finger. I need that one. And so I'm spinning it up and it's slowly like I'm hitting that point, like you can hear it. Like stainless when it's going creaks. So like I'm not sure if the bolt is creaking right now or if the stainless is creaking because I'm about to pop through it. And I'm watching the stainless from the side and I can see it is starting to push through. So I'm like, okay, so that's working, but like only the first bit of the actual die is cutting in. And so I keep going, and then like now it's like really hard. So ring off, cup the pry bar with my hand. And it just starts speeding up. Like, fuck it. Like, if I just go faster, if I keep the heat in it, we'll be good. The last one, and I can hear it creaking. And at this point, I'm still standing like in front of the bench vise. You know where the bench vise in my shop is mounted.
Yeah.
It's just about rib height.
Right.
Gonna hit lucky number 13. And I'm bringing it up and I'm pulling it forward towards my head, and I think I should go back to standing beside it. And so I pull the pry bar off. I move myself to the side of it. I put the pry bar on. I get no more than a 16th of a turn. The bolt head with the knockout in it,
Go on.
like rocket ship, moving at least 250 meters a second until I watched it hit the cart that we had. Like we had our blue tool cart was sitting right there.
Right. Yeah.
The bottom end of the die dented it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just like, immediately, I just fucking dropped the pry bar, walked back to my desk, sat down, and immediately was like, Amazon.ca, 1/2-inch electrical knockout.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how junk it is. I just needed to finish one hole that's halfway done.
Yeah.
If I can just do that, we're good. I'll never have to. Not to mention the fact that his improvised solution was a fucking 7/8 wrench. So the plate started to push through too. Like I started to flex the plate in.
Right.
So now I'm going to have to make a flat surface and pound it back true. So the button seats flush.
Oh my god.
Not the biggest deal. Old man comes back. Oh, did it let go on you?
What
do you think
How have
happens?
you not murdered this man yet?
Well, I think the next time I told him, I was like, the next time you come up with a jerry-rigged solution like that on a tool we know isn't functioning like it's supposed to, I'm making you do it.
Yeah.
I should have made you do it this time because you would have socked yourself in the gut and it would have hurt so bad you'd have gone home for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I hit myself in the jaw, told you, hey boss, my face hurts. It's not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And you just kind of said, well, yeah, it's a tough world out there. That's a workers' comp claim, all right? And a visit to the labor board.
Yeah.
I'm not doing like.
Yeah, this isn't something to fuck around
for
with.
some of the stuff I had done at work. Like if I had photographed evidence, I wish I'd taken a picture of the initial setup because like it was hilariously impressive how he put it together. But like looking at it, I was like, this is gonna hurt me. Like I'm gonna hurt myself.
You just know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where like you always hear about guys that hurt themselves on the job, and like they all say the same thing. I'm gonna get hurt. I can feel that something about this is gonna go wrong. And I was like, I'm looking at this bolt and I'm like, this is going to go wrong. Like I know just enough about metallurgy to know that like this bolt won't handle the load I'm about to put through it.
Yeah.
And if I put it through anyways, it's gonna really hurt me.
Yeah.
And sure enough, like just the way it hit my face, it knocked my glasses off. The sleeve did the first time. And I honestly thought I had like smoked my somewhere else in my face, like dazed for a second, and I'm like, what is going on right now? And then I finally came back to the peanut gallery coming into the shop, like, oh, did you get it knocked out? Like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about retiring.
I'll
Just make
do
sure
it for
correct
you.
Will. Listen, why wait?
Yeah, why wait?
Why don't you go into retirement tomorrow?
There's always a Jetsu holiday waiting for someone.
Yeah. I'm sure the Winnipeg crew would absolutely adore it if he retired tomorrow, because
They're tired of his shenanigans.
it is
a way to put
I
it.
thought it was just me. I thought I was the only one that was dealing with it. No, I've had a couple of conversations with the operations manager for Winnipeg. He's getting it worse. And I feel bad for him because, like, the problem is every time something fails on site that we bought from Winnipeg,
Right.
he hears about it.
Right, because I think it's well established that Kelly likes to gripe about anything, as long as it's inconvenient to him. If it's inconvenient to someone else, it's like, well, that's the way it is.
Yeah, and like to a certain extent, I'm the same, but like if it's something you can't control,
you still know how to have empathy.
Yeah. If it's something that's obviously out of your control, then like, okay.
Right. Yeah, it's something that should be documented, yeah.
If it's the basis of your business, and you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some issues, but also I'm going to talk about, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I can't fight. Like, I'm not going to motherfucker a guy because he messed something up. Now, I did used to do that to the install foreman, who I know is also the head of like our equipment manufacturing process.
Right.
Because that guy was useless, but it's okay because he's gone now. They fired his ass.
Yeah, so
he
obviously
took an 87 cheeseburger lunch with him.
Yeah, obviously it was well founded.
Yeah, well, like both the owner used to ask me about it when he'd come to visit, because he comes to visit once a summer, like the owner of the actual company in Winnipeg.
Once annually.
Yeah, he comes for my baseball game. Is the joke that we make. we always joke that he's our deadbeat stepdad. He'll show up. I know he'll show up for my next baseball game. He said he would. But yeah, we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, your install foreman's no good. Like I don't, like, when I didn't know enough, I would ask questions about the install foreman without directly throwing him under the bus. Like, we were on the site, we were talking about this versus this way. Because, like, part of it's I'm trying to pick the brain of someone who's been doing this for 35 years that
right.
isn't my boss.
Right.
To see where the correlation points are. But, like, also, like, I had the opinion that we should do it this way, which is, like, the Kelly standard.
Yeah.
And then he was arguing that we should do it this way. And I'm like, okay, is that how Winnipeg does it? Or is that just how he was doing it? And 9 times out of 10, when I'd ask those questions, it would be how he was doing it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I set the ball in motion to, like, this guy's now being watched. And then when I finished the Battleford job with him last year, or a year and a bit ago now, I, like, lost my shit over it because I was so fucking mad because he just left. Like, the 2 days in after doing 6 hours worth of work over the course of 3 days. And bragging the whole time about how working for Winnipeg is so great because you get the per diem and they pay your, like his salaries not as good as mine, but like that's fine because they get a lot of other travel bonuses. And I was like, I remember I talked to the op manager and I was like, hey, you can't tell them that I'm telling you this, but this is the dialogue that I've been listening to for the last 3 days. And then I talked to the owner about it when he was in town last summer, and I was like, this guy isn't working.
Yeah.
there's no way you can convince me that he's a hard worker. He might
Yeah.
have been at one point when he really was desperate and knew, and he needed to make sure it would stick. But like,
Now that he's
I'm
comfortable.
guilty of coasting lots of the time, but like I also know how to find work. Like
Right.
when something needs to be done, I know how to do it,
Yeah.
and I'm time efficient, and I've learned that ability. And like working with Kelly's pretty forgiving,
Right.
so like it gives a good benchmark for like when I have to sit at that desk and have somebody in the back do all the work or like most of it. I know kind of like this is your pacing and this is what it'll be. Like you're gonna be really busy some days, you're not gonna be very busy at all others, and that's cool. If you can find enough to justify coming in on the slow days, I'll pay your wage.
Yeah.
If you can't, say so, I'll send you home.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying you for that half a day. Like if you need the money and you're sticking it out because you need the money, you got to find something to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, I think, a fair approach to it. But yeah, it's
Well, no, I used to tell the kids at work all the time that because like we had a lot of high school kids that worked under me on the front counter, and there wasn't always freight to put away, and there wasn't always shelves to refill out front. So if they were just standing there, 5 minutes here and there. Obviously, I'm not going to be a micromanager and be like, "Hey, come on, let's go." But when it's been like 25, half an hour, and they're still standing there with their elbows on the counter, just like this, staring out the window, and I walk up to you and go, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, just looking at what's going on." "Well, there's always work to do." "Well, there's no shelves of stock." "Okay, well, there's always a broom you can grab. We got tons of brooms. You can go sweep the floor. Like, find work. Find a reason to be paid.
To do.
Yeah, like you're. This is work. This isn't pay to be lazy. This isn't. This isn't free time. And that's the thing that so many people miss.
My favorite line from an employer that I've ever received is, "I don't pay you to stand around. If you want to stand around, go do it on the street corner."
Yeah.
If you want to stand around all day, there's a homeless guy that probably wants some company.
I believe those used to be called sign spinners.
Yeah. Fresh, hot, and ready pizza here.
Problem is, I don't know which way the Little Caesars is. I love those ones when they're constantly spinning the sign. I saw one the other day, actually, for Subway, at TikTok, and this guy was just fucking going nuts with the sign, which I always thought was really cool. And this lady's sitting there recording him, and she's like, "This is cool and all, but now I don't know which way my lunch is."
The sun is hot, makeup's melting, hurts my eyes. Let's circle back to the Transformers bit from earlier. Yeah, it's one of those things where like he's getting a little worse kind of every year, and I think today was probably the most verbally he's ever admitted that he's starting to just not remember things.
Right.
Which is something that I've been noticing for a little while. Like I'm definitely going to miss him when he's gone, but I do wonder to what extent are we falling down on things that purely have to do with his memory. Like,
right.
I've learned how to mitigate that. And the way I do that is like we have notebooks. The idea being that like every phone call,
right,
whatever it is, write it down. That way you have a verbal or you have a written
account
log of the important points.
That's the age-old retail thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy from this place is looking for this, this, and this. And he wants to know when you're going to ship it or where it is right now if it's on its way.
Yeah.
And here's his phone number. So like that gives me time to dig, because I always give guys a timeline. I'll try to have you something by the end of today or by tomorrow if I can't.
Yeah.
Like if I haven't called you by tomorrow at noon, I might have gotten busy. Give me a shout. If I have the answer, I'll have it written down here. Like Kelly will know where to look. And then when I do sell parts that are coming in on order, I'm guilty of not remembering who I sold them to. So what I've started doing for that is I just write the packing slip. I'll get off the phone. I'll make sure that the parts go on the order list. I'll be like, all right, cool. We need to put an order in because I told this guy that like we were hoping to have them in a week, and so like the turnaround's 3 days. If I can get them in faster, I can call him. We can get paid. I can get them out.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Right. Pretty
So
simple.
I've started writing packing slips for all of these phone calls, and we now have a pick bin, which is like right on the top of the counter, and it's all of our back order stuff.
That's good.
So I just put it right in there. And
I had
today he
something
was going
similar
through it
set
and-
up for special orders we were waiting for at the store because we didn't have a system that actually really worked. And we actually had a thing where if a special order showed up and it
we
sat
don't have
on
a
our
system at all.
That's
I
why.
make it up as I go.
And so we had it was a like word of mouth kind of written rule, so it was unwritten. It was just something we always verbally agreed on that never really got followed. If a special order that was prepaid for showed up, it sat on the shelf for a week, and if the customer hadn't come to pick it up, and we called them every day after it showed up because we have the receipt taped right to the part, if it didn't get picked up after a week, we would send it back because we only had enough space on that shelf for so many things, like that wire rack that they have at the end of the counters. That's the holding shelf. That's it. So not a lot of space. So I devised the system where we actually had...
I am well acquainted with that shelf.
Yeah. And so the problem is that these customers weren't getting called. Parts were sitting there for almost 3 months because nobody was watching the shelf, and they just weren't getting picked up. And so I finally had enough, and I went through and backtracked all these parts, printed off all the receipts, called everybody one by one, and whoever was like, oh shit, I never got a call about this, I'll come pick it up right now, or wouldn't answer their phone or whatnot, left multiple voicemails. I kind of like restarted the process, but I actually put everything in an envelope, put the envelope in a bin, and I put the bin right underneath the till for the commercial, like the commercial guy who ran the commercial till at the very end by the whole shelf. And I told them, because I worked the front counter in conjunction with the commercial guys in the back, because Steven, my buddy who does his car tuning and stuff, he's the commercial manager. And so we had to work in tandem and communicate because he always had a commercial guy up front to help the walk-in commercial customers. And so I told him, look, the commercial guy really doesn't have that much to do because you guys maybe get 5 walk-in commercial customers a day, so that till is virtually always empty. The guy is just standing up there with his hand on it, like his elbow on the counter, playing on his phone with nothing to do. I am assigning him the retail and commercial hold shelves. He has to do these special order calls. Steven went, yep, nope, that's great, makes sense. Told the guy, this is what you're doing from now on. And suddenly, within 2 weeks, the shelf was cleared off, and we virtually were getting rid of orders as soon as they showed up. And I would hold, so we would send the part back after a week, but I would hold those receipts in that envelope for a month, and I would call them after the week was up and the part was sent back. I would call them once every couple of days rather than every day, and I would be like, hey, this part was sent back, but we can reorder it if you need it because it still has that you paid for it, so it's still your part. We just sent it back because we don't have space for it. And then after a month, if they still hadn't answered or they're like, nope, I'm not coming to get it, well, we can't give you a refund because it states right on our receipts, like prints off. We don't type it in or anything. It's literally a print off with the rules and conditions on the back of our receipts that special orders are non-refundable at all because we take a major hit with our suppliers because they are not willing to work with us and be like, hey, you order millions of dollars from us every other month, but we're not going to take parts back for free. Every single part source gets charged a massive restocking fee. So it's been easier for us to just say, hey, look, we have bought you this $100 part, you paid for it, obviously you need it since you came in to order a $100 part. It's not like people has that kind of chump change just hanging around, but we can't return it. Even if you don't want it anymore, we can't give you your money back because it's going to cost us $50 now to send back this $100 part. So it's just not worth it. And so if people never came to get it, well, after a month I'd toss their paper out of the envelope. Money was still there, but that was it. Like, still got the $100 in the end run, but they never got their part, and that was just it. And I only had one instance where a customer came in, and it was like 3 months after the fact, and I actually pulled up the receipt because every time I called them, I personally would actually go on to their profile and make a note of every time I called them. And I pulled it up, I turned the screen, and I showed them. I was like, look, I called you here, the date and time, and I left voicemails here, here, and here. Why haven't you been answering? Oh, well, I thought it was a scam caller. You don't, what? You
Comes up in the phone as part source, dude.
Yeah, dude, phones have auto recognition. What the fuck are you using? Like a landline rotary phone? Like, either way, the same phone number calls you every other day. Don't you think it's important? Like,
I think
scammers
that's a
usually.
little bit more in the scam call.
Yeah, scammers usually
Maybe.
call from different numbers every time, for one thing. And two, they don't leave you voicemails going, yeah, your $100 SFX muffler for your 2008 Nissan Sentra is here. We've been waiting for you to come pick it up for a month now. Like, we're not looking for money from you, bud. We're not some Nigerian prince. We're telling you to come get your part off our fucking shelf. Like,
Do not redeem. Do
And
not redeem.
so yeah, the guy was quite pissed when we told him, look, it's been 3 months, and that part is now gone. Like, it got sent back in a shipment to Edmonton because you never answered us. So we can reorder it, but now you're gonna have to pay the shipping fee. We're not gonna make you pay for the whole part again, because I'm not a complete asshole. But 3 months and all of these documented calls, and like, you're gonna have to pay the shipping again, which admittedly was like $30. And he just had a complete freakout session about it, so he never did get his muffler from us. But yeah, the thought process with people like that, of like, hey, I'm gonna order this part because I desperately need it, and then completely forget about it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I wish I had that kind of money.
Yeah, right? Like, I wish I had the leisure and just the overall nonchalant point in my life of like,
The whimsy
yeah.
of a man, the whimsy and the wile of a man that is not stressed.
I wish I could just
about-
look at things and go, like,
I still remember ordering my brake routers and being like, this is the purchase that bankrupts me.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
$1,000 for a set of routers. I don't care how good these things are. They better cure cancer when I put them on my car.
Yeah.
Like, and I still haven't ordered the brake pads. I was talking to my boss about it today because he was like, I kind of want to send you to Winnipeg to do like training for some of the stuff that we're not up to snuff on. We don't know it.
Right.
But, like, have somebody come to Saskatoon to teach me. I'm like, I'm down to go to Winnipeg for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, like, are you going racing this year? And I was like, I honestly don't think so. Like looking at the economics of it and where I'm at, if I get a raise this year, which is still kind of an if,
Yeah.
like, I've been told I won't, I've been told I will. So, we're 50-50 so far on the odds. It's been equal parts both ways.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't get a huge raise, I don't have enough just kicking it in the bank
Yeah.
to be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go racing this year. I might go to one event at the end of the summer, but like the car won't be what it should be. Because I haven't had the money to put into it. So,
well, yeah, that's the same for me. Like, I'm not going to be able to afford to, renew my SIR membership or anything, or go drag racing this.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks. I don't even know if I'm hoping I'm able to, but I don't even know if I'm going to be able to afford to put a permit on the bike at all. Like, I was only able to take it out twice last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just like racing is expensive, and that was an understanding I had going in. And looking at like, so Kelly leaves, I'm in charge. I'll be able to take over some of like his benefits for compensation on that.
Yeah.
It's like, how much of that will even offset me enough to be able to go racing again. I don't know.
Right.
Because like, to make it more affordable, I'd almost have to buy a trailer.
Yeah.
But then I need somewhere to store a trailer.
Right.
I've been talking to some friends about finding the next car. Might have found the next car.
Oh.
Now I need to pony up $1,500 to go buy the shell. Complete 1984 Berlinetta Camaro. Complete.
Fair.
Motor, transmission, drive shaft, rear end, front suspension, the whole body, floor is still solid, all of the glass. $1,500. I was like, wish I had $1,500.
Yeah.
I was close last Saturday night, but I wasn't that close.
Yeah.
So like, do I go racing again this year knowing that it's gonna like actually put me under? Or like, I have some decent sponsors that always chip some money, and they usually wait for the confirmation. They're like, yes, I'm going next month, the car is ready.
Right.
But like, I don't have sponsors that are like, yeah, we'll front you the money to finish the car.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a bare minimum of $1,000 away,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't a ton. Grand scheme of what I've spent on that thing.
It's not, but the problem is that $1,000 is still $1,000.
It's still enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the next part that I'm going to order won't even be brake pads. It'll be camber plates.
Yeah.
Because I still have brakes enough. I'll just put fresh factory stuff back in it.
Right.
But I won't put the Stop Tech rotors in it until I have the good brake pads. So I can freshen the brakes for $200, all four corners, and send it. And put some camber plates, get my alignment fixed, dial that in. I have the tune now. See how the tune changes things up.
Yeah.
And then the end. Like, there's not much else I'll be able to do. So I think that might kind of be where I lie, because like the camber plates are $300. I'm thinking about ordering them probably end of next month is what it's looking like.
Yeah.
Plus, like, end of next month is when race time comes around. I could get a massive race, and then I'll be able to finish the car.
True.
I don't know. Probably not, but maybe.
It always, always rides on that massive.
There's some other things. Yeah, there's some other things that I'd like to be compensated for instead. Like, I'd almost rather the company paid my phone bill.
Yeah.
That's $130 I don't have to make every month.
Yeah.
Well,
especially since like you're using it for work, and they were already like, "Hey, we'll just buy you a company phone and pay for that." Well, how about you just pay for the phone I already have? Like,
at no point have they ever offered to buy me another phone. I suggested we get a shop phone, like a shop cell phone, and make that the second line.
Right.
And Kelly was like, well, we could just, like, if you're using your phone enough for work, we could just cover some of your phone bill. When the Christmas holiday started, you would remember that the Friday of New Year's, I was on call.
Yeah.
We discovered earlier this week, the second line for the shop is still forwarded to my cell.
What the fuck?
I never remembered to cancel the call forward.
Interesting.
And it hadn't really come up. It had been fairly quiet. Normally it stacks. Like, we'll get 2 phone calls right at the same time.
Right.
And I had just never noticed that they were coming to my cell, because I was answering the phone. Good afternoon, DA Lincoln, and talking to these guys.
Yeah.
Or I'd have my earbuds in and I'd hear my phone ring and I'd answer the phone. Because during working hours, you can always get me, unless I'm on the phone with a customer.
Right.
So 4:30 hits, good luck getting a hold of me unless I'm looking at the text messages.
Yeah.
Or like I know we're doing something. So I told Kelly, I was like, yeah, hey, can you do me a favor and cancel the call forward for the second line? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, for the last month, I've had second line forwarded to my cell phone from New Year's, like New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until today when my cell phone rang and I recognized our customer's car wash. Like I recognized the customer phone number.
Yeah.
And earlier that day, I'd gotten a weird call from a Quebec phone number I didn't recognize. So I declined the call. And then the shop phone rang 5 minutes later on the second line. It was the same guy.
Right.
And so I answered the phone. I'm like, good afternoon, DA Lincoln. And he was like, yeah, it's his name is Nav. He works for a car wash just outside of the city.
Okay, yeah,
He
yeah.
was calling looking for some parts. And I was like, hey, did you call a different phone number? Like 5 minutes before you called this number? He goes, no, I called the same shop phone. I was like, well, no, because it rang on my cell phone. So you didn't call the shop at all. Like I know you didn't. I could show you the call log when you get here. He goes, no, I called the shop phone. Like I called this phone number because he broke his last phone, so he lost the cell phone numbers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that's how I figured it out. I was like, oh. And you know what? It actually kind of works out because I don't really like the handhelds that we have at the shop. So like,
fair.
And it almost never rings after 4:30. But I've technically been on call for the last month.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
And at this point, I'm just gonna wait to see how long it takes Kelly to cancel the call forward, and use that in my compensation negotiations for next year. Be like, yeah, hey, so by the way, remember when I asked you to end the call forward to my cell phone and you didn't? That was 2 months ago.
Yeah. I have all
Pay me
of
for my
these
cell phone,
logs.
please.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind taking the phone calls, but like, I'm taking phone calls during the workday on my cell.
Yeah.
From customers, which, like, admittedly, that's not the point. The point is that I forward the phones on the weekend and I get because like the actual beauty to it is the way our phone system is set up through Sasktel. If you call the main shop line and nobody answers, when it's done ringing, it auto transfers you to the second line.
Yeah.
And then the second line forwards it to my cell. So if Saturday afternoon, 2:00 the afternoon, somebody's looking for some out of soap, I don't know, make up a condition, and they call us, I will actually get it, which is good because I do want to get those phone calls.
Right.
But like, I was even talking to Kelly, but I was like, even like, let me use the gas card. That's $100 every 2 weeks that I don't have to make. The gas card in my phone bill would be like the cheapest way for them to increase my compensation without paying me more every month.
Yeah.
And it's not like a staggeringly like, or even like those two things and a slight pay bump. Like, give me another $3,000 a year.
Yeah.
My taxes won't really change. I'll take home slightly more. I'm outputting slightly less because like my plan is just to start logging my mileage. Like that's the ownership benefit that I've chosen to take, is that I'm just going to take the mileage payment
Right.
and use my vehicle as a work vehicle.
Right.
And I'll have the company plate it. And so I save myself the $200 a month in plates, plus I get paid mileage, and I'll take the hit for income tax season. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was getting a laugh at that the other day when we finally figured it out, because we couldn't figure out why the second line of the phone, the shop, just never rang. We came back, we're like, the phone only rings like only the main line rings. Usually it's stacked up. Like
Yeah.
it always stacks up. It's always two at the same time. That's why we got the second line.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I don't get it either. Anyways, my cell phone's ringing. That's weird. I'll go answer this. Like, answer the phone call. Yeah, this is Halbert from McGee Colony. How'd you get this phone number? I called the shop.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Anyways, like nice lie, buddy. I don't know at what point I gave you my cell phone number, but okay.
Yeah.
Hilariously, that specific guy in that example, I tried to call him because the work he had us do is done now.
Right.
His cell phone was disconnected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know what the deal is there. I found an email for him, but like tried to call him 5 times in the last 3 days. The phone number you've dialed has been disconnected or is out of the service area. I'm like,
Nice.
But yeah, change is scary. We all need more money to live. Racing's expensive. And to quote the Jezman himself on that bombshell, it's time to end.
Yep.
Thanks for coming, watching, listening, however you choose to ingest the audio. I don't know. If you're watching and you're wondering, when are they going to bring back the big screen and show us what they're talking about? Probably next week when I talk about Formula One.
Yeah, when we have something that actually has something to show.
At some point, one of us has to find.
Oh shit! That's right. I cut my finger yesterday. Don't even know when I did that.
One of us will have to find the pictures of the new 26 Formula One cars.
Yeah.
All of the liveries should be unveiled by next week. We'll have to collate them somewhere.
Yeah.
So we can show those. And some testing has occurred, which has revealed some interesting numbers for the season. It's a secret test, so it's not being televised.
Right.
The first televised test will actually start the week after I come back from my holiday.
Okay.
There'll be something to talk about on that episode in 3 weeks.
Good.
Because there's 2 tests before the season starts, and I'm really excited to see how those go.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of teams didn't show up to the private test. Out of 11, only 7 showed up.
Oh shit.
The other 4 opted out of it, which, for whatever reason, some of them have not been very vocal about why they opted out. Williams has been, because Williams is the GOAT. I cut my finger at work yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Old fire hall number 1. No idea on what. Hopefully I don't have tetanus. Thank God I just got that shot.
Yep.
Oh, just over a year ago, before my nephew was born. He turns 1. I almost said he turns 12 next month. He turns 1 next month.
Don't fucking get ahead of yourself.
The big one.
Yep, the big one.
The big one.
The big old one.
They tell me the first one is the best one, and the sequel's honestly overrated.
The first one's the best one you don't remember.
Yeah, I told that joke to my sister-in-law, and she cracked up. We were both laughing like retarded hyenas.
Yeah, she would find that funny.
Yeah, but
yes,
we're ending.
Bombshells,
No more stories.
adieus, all those good things.
Bombshells have been dropped. Catch us on the socials, twitch.tv/Sergeant Cobra 98, where we are right now. I think gonna stream on Saturday.
Yeah, DLC
I have an
Quest.
idea of what game. I'm gonna stream DLC Quest.
Yeah.
Recommended to me by my roommate. Saturday afternoon. Don't know at what time. I've given up on giving myself a time because both times I've been like, it's gonna start. Yeah. It's gonna start at noon, guys, and then it's like 2 p.m.
Don't give yourself
and
a time.
I've just gotten home, so
I've stopped giving myself time, and it works better. You don't feel as bad when you miss the time.
sometime on Saturday over at twitch.tv/thelastmajesty.
Yep.
We'll be streaming DLC Quest, cracking jokes about capitalism and how it's EA's perfect game.
Yep, and you can find me in the chat.
And you can find Will in the chat. Otherwise, join the Discord. Come have a conversation, or a Discord, if you will. A discourse.
A discourse in the Discord.
A discourse in the Discord.
The academy where we learn all about the things we hate.
Yeah. We're here teaching the important things.
Yep.
But for this week, I've been Chris. He's Will. Maybe I'm Will and he's Chris.
Inception's a bitch.
Who's Statler and I'm Statler. He's Waldorf.
Yep.
And we'll catch you next week, next Tuesday,
Yeah.
for a special travel do's and don'ts and Formula One secret testing concluded
Oh,
episode.
until next Tuesday, believe that we love you and goodbye.
Love you. Bye.